Demon Slayer season 3. Am I right?
No. Sorry, Demon Slayer fans. I guess you can call me a Demon Slayer hater because you're like, well, just drop the show.
Why are you I know why I continued watching it. Why are you still watching it? I'm so curious.
People are gonna really hate me for saying this, but
Pretty colors?
Yeah, the animation.
Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Casual Takes, and welcome back to friend of the show, of course, and the anime encyclopedia, RJ from On the Rise. What's good, man?
What's good? Anime encyclopedia. That's a first.
I mean, you released a video explaining how you watch 100 anime, so in a year. So it's like, damn, this is
yeah. I guess you can call me that. Still going strong with that. Others call it an addiction, but I'll take anime encyclopedia.
I mean, whatever gets you, bro. I don't know. But I will say this year has been an amazing year for anime because I think this is the most anime I've watched in a year in a long time. Like stuff that came out. Overall, like what are your thoughts of 2023 in terms of like years of anime?
I think it's a pretty solid year. I mean, anime has been going strong since we came back from the pandemic. Since 2020. And it's continuing that streak. You know, a lot of shit got pushed back, right? So they're still going strong. So hey, I think it's been a pretty good year so far. And it's wrapping up to be a pretty good year overall. Better than last year? I don't know, but it's close. It's close. They're definitely it's definitely up for debate, I would say.
This is just me personally. I think this is the best season of or the best year of anime I've seen in like years. Like, I think it's because this is the year where a lot of things I'm personally interested in like came out like around this time. Like it's like a good amount. Like, you know my tastes. They're like either like psychological thrillers or like sci-fi or mecha. So like everything just like I love came out this year. Even like really good, well-written like slice of life came out this year. Which we'll get into. But actually segue into winter of this year. One of the best written slice of lives I've seen this year. Buddy Daddies. Crazy shock to me how good it is. Like I'm actually like blown away how great it is. It's what I wish the first season of Spy Family was in Buddy Daddies. Me personally, love it. Amazing. It wrapped up very well. And it was such a strong start to the year for me. It honestly made me think, man, this year's going to be great if this is the start of the year. Has to be. I just personally like how the daughter interacted with the two dads. You know, hey, you don't get a lot of two dads in an anime. So that's
true.
Really interesting. And I like how they literally went through the ups and downs of being a parent, all concise into 12 episodes, and it didn't feel rushed. You know what I mean? It felt purposeful. I don't know if you've seen Buddy Daddies this year or what you think of it.
I think if we were gonna do top anime originals like of the year, like just anime originals, I think Buddy Daddies would easily be number one. Like I don't think there's any competition in that regard. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna scroll down, you know, and find another anime original. I'll be like, oh, that was good, but I still think Buddy Daddies would be top number one for anime originals this year. I think I think it was really good. I really enjoyed it. To be honest, looking at winter 2023, Buddy Daddies may have been the best new anime in my one of the best. I think I gave it the number 2 spot in my video. I think I gave it the number 2 spot in my video. But yeah, I really enjoyed Buddy Daddies. You know, a lot of people said, oh, it's a Spy X Family copycat, but it's a similar premise. But when you actually watch it, you realize, oh no, it's its own thing. Completely.
It's like not really that similar if you really watch it. You know what I mean?
On paper they sound the same, but when you really watch it, it's like a completely different show. And I heavily enjoyed it, to be honest. Loved Buddy Daddies. So high praise to that one.
And what did you have number 1 on that video again? I totally don't remember.
Magi Revo.
Okay.
The the long ass title. The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady, I think it's called.
So it's an isekai.
It is an isekai, yeah. It's isekai written. Well, the anime is written by the same guy that wrote Snafu.
Oh yeah, right. You did say
Yeah.
that.
And you can't tell it's an isekai because they don't actually explicitly tell you that it's an isekai, which I actually enjoy because I didn't pick up it was an isekai until like the last episode, and I was like, oh shit, this is an isekai. That's kind of my only gripe with it. I was like, it didn't really have to be an isekai. It could have just been a fantasy and been the exact same story. So that was kind of my only gripe with it, but I did heavily enjoy it. For what it was, and that was like my number one of the winter 2023. Granted, a lot of people said my number one would have been Trigun if I watched Trigun.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. It probably would have been.
I still have not seen Trigun. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You literally had 12 months to like even to try it, and this man is like, "Nah, bro, I'm good."
I still have not seen Trigun. But you know, I'll probably watch it next year and be like, "Hey guys, this is good." And they're like, "Wow, wow!"
Oh my gosh, bro. Anyways, we might as well get into it, man. The winter season, honestly, I thought I remember winter being one of the weaker seasons, but it's actually pretty strong because we got Trigun Stampede, my personal favorite anime. That's not a sequel. This season, man, it's so good because I remember the original Trigun, and it was not as well written as Trigun Stampede. They actually made it more sci-fi than Western. I really don't care for Western type shows or movies. I honestly could care less. But the fact that they went more sci-fi, and the fact that, you know, Vash is very layered as a character. You may see him as like a very goofy type of character, happy-go-lucky or whatever, but his past really just sets the tone of like, nah, this dude is coping with things. The reason why he's acting like this is to cope with the decisions he's made and other people have made. One of my favorite antagonists in Knives. He's such a great antagonist, sorry. But like the Vash and Knives just, they're such a great, you know, force fighting against each other. Like two different ideals of like, you know, I want to take over this planet versus like, I want to make sure everyone's good in this planet. It's great concept. I love it. I cannot wait for season 2, as well as the CGI. Probably the best CGI anime I've seen so far. Yeah. I mean, Studio Orange is just killing it. Killing it, man. I love it. And people who say like they prefer the original Trigun over Trigun Stampede, you're smoking crack, bro. Like there's no way. There's no freaking way. If you say like the manga more, all right, cool. I get it. But the original Trigun, and I've seen that take, I'm like, you are smoking something. Like, no, that is crazy to me.
Yeah, I'll get to it. I promise I'll get to it. I watched the first episode. I did watch the first episode, and I did enjoy the first episode. I just didn't continue.
I'm just saying, RJ. I actually watched your recommendations. Like, I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. I'm getting to it. I promise. And hey, I did watch one of your recommendations. I did watch Pluto. I did watch that. That I did watch.
We'll get to that.
But yeah. Yeah, I think winter was kind of out of the entire year. I give winter third place, seasonal wise for strength. To be honest, just for me personally, a lot of people thought winter is going to be the weakest. No, I give that to summer, but
winter's surprisingly strong. Like when you look at both new anime and sequels, it's like really strong actually. When you think, like, I think if this season came out in other years, it would be like top 2 or one of the best of that year. You know what I mean? Were there any other new anime you wanted to get into
for winter? Just to keep my slice of life trend up. I think, you know, the best slice we got out of winter was Tomo-chan is a girl, and Ice Guy and his cool female colleague. I don't think Tomo-chan is a girl is like a little nice slice life romance. I didn't actually watch the anime. I read the manga. And I read the manga all the way through before the anime was like announced. So then when I went to go check out the anime, I was like, oh, this is the manga. I'm not gonna rewatch it all. But I'm happy like it brought in like a new fan base and new fans, and it did complete the story because the manga's not that long. So
okay.
Yeah, it did complete the story. So Tomo-chan is a girl. If there's no season 2, there's no nothing. It ends after 12 episodes, which is nice. And it's a nice seinen romance. I enjoyed it. Ice Guy is cool female colleague. I don't think a lot of people will enjoy because it's kind of dry.
I was gonna say I heard very mixed things about this one.
It's a very dry office comedy. I would say unless you're like particularly into that stuff, like I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest, to a lot of people. But it was like kind of I don't want to say guilty pleasure, but it was just something I enjoyed that season. Just going back to weekly, just simply watching it. But other than that, I've already talked about Magiribo. That was my favorite. I was written by the guy that wrote Snafu. Other than that, that's kind of it. I mean, I guess I could talk about High Card. But
okay. I actually do want to get into that because following I swear this is gonna go into High Card. My favorite sequel to come out of winter 2023 is Bungo Stray Dogs season 4. All right. Now, with High Card, it literally picked the worst season to come out of because High Card is literally budget Bungo Stray Dogs. Like literally, it has the same vibe and the same kind of like character dynamic in Bungo Stray Dogs, but worse. It's just worse written. I don't know what you felt about a High Card, but that when I saw that, I was like, this literally is just Bungo Stray Dogs.
Yeah, same. I definitely got the feeling that it's like kind of an anime akin to Bungo Stray Dogs, to be honest. I've seen like the first like 6 episodes of Bungo Stray Dogs. So I was just like, this feels oddly familiar. Maybe if we look it up, maybe some staff correlates or something like that. I don't know.
I looked up the writer. There's literally no correlation.
There's no correlation.
Like the only other big works that the writer has done is Kakegurui, and that's kind of it.
Oh yeah, it is written by the same guy that wrote Kakegurui.
Yeah, so that's kind of it. Like it's so weird how it definitely gives off the Bungo Stray Dogs Kekai Sensen. I don't know what
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And, but to be honest, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, I felt High Card was the most mid anime I've ever seen. It's okay. Like
it got a season 2. I don't know why. It got
a season 2 somehow. Will I watch the season 2? Probably not. Just because I finished High Card out of I guess I started it, so might as well finish the season, right? But it is the most okay. It's not bad, but it's not good either. Like
what's funny? Okay, because this year Bungo Stray Dogs caught up to the manga, I might just watch High Card to like fill that void for a bit.
I mean, hey, I remember saying that it was the most okay kind of average anime. It's like an average anime done averagely. Like
I feel you.
It's very much like, I guess I'll watch this type of show. Like it's no one's gonna be talking about this show, and no one's gonna be shitting on the show either. Like, which I guess is kind of worse than shows you actually do shit on, because they at least get, in people's eyes, in people's attentions. Like they at least get in the audience attentions. But High Card, because no one is either liking it or shitting on it, it's like, damn, it's really fading into the background.
It's the most okay. Like
literally the most okay. Yeah. So
oh my gosh. Yeah. Back to Bungo Stray Dogs season 4. I will say this time and time again. Bungo Stray Dogs has the best backstories you will ever see. Now, for the record, Bungo Stray Dogs season 5 did come out later this year. We'll get to that later. That one did not have a backstory arc in the beginning. Most seasons of Bungo Stray Dogs, from season 2 up to season 4, so for three seasons straight, it had a backstory arc, and they're all very good. Very good. Season 2 had the best one. I'll concede that. But season 4, man, it did such a good job of giving us more insight on Rampo, who is the main detective in the detective agency, and Fukuzawa, who is the president of the detective agency. It showed why Fukuzawa created the agency in the first place, and why Rampo, despite not having like any gifts at all, is probably one of the main driving forces of the detective agency. Like, it did such a good job of just showing, how do I explain this? These two just have such a good chemistry together, and it showed the foundation that the agency was just it's so hard to describe. Like, Bungo Stray Dogs, after season 1, it just hits its stride on so many things. Like, when it goes off and it really delves into the backstories of each character, like, legit, this year I felt like I know every single character in the detective agency very well, and I know everyone's motivations very well. And later on, we'll talk about how all of that is converging into one, but everything connects in some way, which is something that I feel like a lot of anime don't do anymore. I feel like it's very hard for anime to be able to write everything purposefully, unless you're like Attack on Titan, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, like, everything felt so purposeful. And I know RJ hasn't seen Bungo Stray Dogs really. He's seen like the first few episodes, but trust me, once you get past season 1, it is some of the best well-written like stories, as well as it balances it out with amazing characters as well. Like, I can't sing its praises enough. It's so good, and the antagonist is so scary. Like, it's scary to the point where, like, it's like possible to beat them, but you don't know how they're ever gonna overcome like certain parts. You're like, how are they gonna get themselves out of this? But I don't know. I've sung its praises a lot. Please watch Bungo Stray Dogs. And man, Bungo Stray Dogs season 4 really like started this year so strong, man. It's the best sequel of this season. I don't care what anyone says.
I mean, my God, it's ridiculous how they released 2 seasons this year, didn't they?
So yes, they've done this before. They've released season 1 and 2 in the same year before, and then I think a year later they released season 3, and then after a couple of years they released season 4 and 5. So it's like, they've done this before. I don't know why they do it like that. It's kind of weird how they don't do the modern anime type thing where they just say this is the first part of this season and the second part of the season. But hey, it's still good. Amazing shit.
Yeah. It's on the list. It's right after I finished Chiara for you, but
I mean, I don't blame you, dude. This anime is like long. Like, I think it's like, let me look up how many episodes this is, because it's a lot of episodes.
It's 5 seasons, so I assume it's pretty lengthy. But you know,
man, like,
I'm binged, right? But
yeah, you binged stuff before, so and it's a seinen, by the way, not a shonen, a seinen. So they get into some crazy shit. Like, I promise you they do. I promise you. And man, I cannot wait to talk about season 5. But we will get back to that later.
I think the moving on, the other one anime that I really enjoyed that no one talked about is an anime called Moi Ippon, or Ippon again in English. It's a sports anime about judo. It's about a girls' judo club, and I enjoyed it based off my slice of life fan ass. I enjoyed it because for the first time in a long time, we got a sports anime that's not about being not necessarily about being the best at a sport, but more so just enjoying being in the club in general, with just a group of people that you like. And it still gives you the sports anime competition scene, right? You still get the sports anime kind of, battles, right, that you get from sports anime. But the main aspect of the show is they just come to terms that they just like being in the club. They like it's like a place where they can all be friends. And I really enjoyed it. It was a short 13 episode. Probably won't get a season 2.
Dang.
But it might. I don't know. The manga does fairly well. It's nothing like fairly well to continue. Enough to not get canceled, basically, the manga does. But I enjoyed it. It's my favorite sports anime of the year. To be honest, I wished more people watched it, but it fell underneath the radar because I don't think it hit any major streaming platforms. I think it was on HiDive. So
Oh gosh, dude!
yeah,
Every time an anime goes on HiDive, I'm like, man, it's gonna be like not a lot of people are gonna watch it.
I think it was on HiDive. It didn't hit Crunchyroll, so not a lot of people saw it. But I enjoyed it, and I think that's kind of it. Like I could go through the list of basically a bunch of forgettable shows that they came out.
Oh my gosh, dude! I don't know what it is. There's all like this season had so many like whatever shows. Like they're not even bad to the point where they go viral and they're like, look how bad this anime is. It's the very like it's the season of mid. There's so many mid anime in this.
It really is. I guess starting off with kind of The Great Snow Sea. That one was like the least mid one, like one I actually finished and I was enjoying. Fantastic opening. Like the music from that is awesome. The CGI from it is kind of okay. The story in the world is interesting, but the execution of it was boring. That would be honest. Like it's like, oh, this world is so interesting. It looks so cool. The music is great. The animation's okay, and then you just like, can they do something? It's like
please do something.
Yeah, the execution of it was kind of boring, so I don't really recommend it. That is getting a season 2 because the manga is, I guess, fairly interesting. I guess. So maybe I'll check out the manga. Anime Originals, Giant Beast of Ours, dropped that after episode 2.
Jesus.
It's disappointing.
You're just dropping things. I remember you said like after 2 episodes, you just drop things left and right.
I can't. I have too much anime to watch. To make these videos and just for my personal enjoyment that I don't have time to watch shit I just don't like watching, to be honest. Like
not interested in at all. You're like
not interested at all, which we'll get to later with this season because there's an anime that I'm about to drop. If I don't watch it in the next 2 days, then I'm just gonna officially.
Dang, for real? Oh my gosh.
No one's gonna like me dropping, and you'll probably actually agree with me because I know you dropped it. But
I'm actually curious on what you're gonna say. But
yeah, Giant Beasts of Ours, disappointing is an anime original, kind of like Soul Eater-esque where. There's people that can turn other people into weapons to fight these monsters, and it was pretty mid. It was not mid. It was bad. It was pretty bad.
It was bad. Not even mid. Can't even give it that.
The Fire Hunter, very interesting visually, but too abstract for me. I don't really like abstract stuff. I would recommend this anime to what was that very weird anime?
Weird anime.
It's a very classical weird anime. Not From Me to You. Is it From Me to You?
From Me to You?
Shit. I'm From the Other Side or something. I forget what it's called.
Damn, the encyclopedia is not functioning, guys.
I don't know what it's a very weird abstract anime, and it's about these kids in this village, this very weird cult-like village. And it came out a couple of years ago. And every time it's so abstract, like Evangelion fans would be like, this is peak.
It's one of those. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those. That's kind of how I would describe the Fire Hunter. Evangelion fans be like, this is peak. And Fire Hunter actually is getting a second season in 2024.
Interesting.
And it's a very abstract and weird anime. I would also think Satoshi Kon fans would very much enjoy this anime. It's like it's very abstract in that way. It is on Crunchyroll, but it didn't blow up, so it's pretty niche. But I dropped it after episode 3. I was like, I can't do this.
All right.
Yeah,
we don't have to go through all the mid. That's
kind of it. That's kind of all I want to mention. That's all I think it's worth mentioning. All the rest, I don't.
I do want to. Okay, so I've been avoiding talking about these 2 anime. But let's just get to it. They're both sequels. So I thought Tokyo Revengers Season 2 Part 1 was good, actually. I know that's a controversial take, but I actually thought it was good. I liked the story with the Black Dragons. People were shitting on it for it not looking like the manga, but I don't expect it to. But I enjoyed it. I don't know what to tell people. It's enjoyable. I wasn't expecting peak. If you were expecting peak, you check your expectations. I don't know what to tell you, but it was enjoyable. I liked it. All right. I know RJ dropped it, but it's okay.
I did. I dropped it after season 1, but I will give Tokyo Avengers this. I do love the designs for Tokyo Avengers. I think I forget the mangaka's name, Ken something. He knows how to draw. I mean, everyone picks on his how long they have long ass necks, right? But honestly, I don't know. I still very much enjoy their designs. Every time I see a design and I'm like, oh, where is this from? It's from Tokyo Avengers. And I'm like, damn. Yeah. But he could draw. The man could draw. I give him this. They look cool as fuck. They look really cool.
And they're in middle school.
Right? And they're in fucking middle school. Middle school.
Oh man, that's so funny. Every time I get reminded they're in middle school, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. And of course, most people will say this is the season of Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga season 2, been everywhere. I thought it was good, but definitely too many dick writers for me personally. Way too many. Like, bro, like if a fan base can ruin some aspects of the show for you, it'd be the Vinland Saga fan base. Like, I was just like, bruh, like let me like the show for me. Like, I wish. This is one of the times where I wish I could binge it all at once, because it would have been way more enjoyable. But there are too many Vinland Saga spoilers online to where like I was forced to just watch it weekly. Like, there was no way, and that was mad annoying. So it did lower my ranking of like Vinland Saga. I still like it. I think it's still like an amazing anime. It's very well written, great story, great character development. But man, pacing was such ass weekly. And like, I don't know. Something about Vinland Saga season 2, combination of like, me being mad at Netflix. First of all, fuck Netflix.
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna sponsor me, I take that back. But man, I just don't understand like what their process is of like which anime gets weekly uploads and which anime doesn't. Like, it makes no sense to me. But yeah, it's good, just not as great as other people say it is personally. But what are your thoughts on it?
I found the weird anime from the New World. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
From the New World, that fucking weird ass show.
From the New World,
Shinsekai Yori. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Yeah, that fucking weird ass show. That's what Fire Hunter reminded me of.
Oh, that's funny.
I had to find it. But Vinland Saga for me, I heavily enjoyed it. Of course, did a lot of content on the Twitch for it because we reviewed it weekly. But I heavily enjoyed it. I do think I am under the impression that Vinland Saga is a masterpiece for me, but it's not my favorite, if that makes sense.
I can totally see that.
I think it's masterfully written. Of course, it has its flaws. Everything does. I think it's masterfully written. I think I heavily enjoyed, season 2. Once again, me being the slice of life fan I am, I heavily enjoyed season 2 more than season 1. Yeah, I don't think it outbeats everything.
It doesn't
saying that season.
People are saying like, oh, you should cancel the rest of the year because Vinland Saga is just everything, and I'm like, you're fucking stupid.
I don't think it outbeats everything. I think it is a very good contender. If we're counting, and if we're counting like sequels and stuff for a very well written anime, I think it definitely should win at least one award this year. But I don't think it outbeats everything, because we have a really good year ahead of us, and winter was just the start. But I enjoyed Vinland Saga for what it was. The story by itself, fan base excluded. I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm excited for season. I'm excited to continue the story. I enjoyed it. I think I think season 2 is better than season 1 for me, because season 2 is kind of where we got into the story, especially the end of season 2. Like the finale of the season was really good in my opinion. With I don't want to spoil it for people, but Canute and Thorfinn was that it's really well written. I don't think it outbeats everything though. I think it doesn't outbeat everything, but it's a very good. I enjoy Vinland Saga.
It's good. I can objectively say it's a very good, well written anime, but it just didn't hit for me like certain other anime that are going to be later on in this year. Like there's just so many like little things that I prefer if it was like done differently. Like me personally, I like Canute over Thorfinn. Like I like his story over Thorfinn's. Like it's I don't know, it's just way more interesting seeing someone go down the road of insanity over someone coming like getting better as a human being, like from being like a shit like human being that has no like family figures to like really attached to and become good. To me, that's not as interesting as seeing someone that had everything and is descending into like madness. That like every time Canute was on the screen, it was like I was so happy, and it was like some of the best moments of Vinland Saga for me personally. But well written regardless. I just there are just things that I would have like changed and preferred, but that's just me. And people who say like, oh, season 1 solos season 2, I'm like, you're stupid. Like, season 2 is great. It's amazing. It's better than season 1. I'm not gonna go as far as to say it's way better. I think way better is kind of crazy to me, but it's better. It's better.
It's better. I think people who say season 1 was better, the action lover meatheads, to be honest.
Like,
they're like, where's the fighting? And it was like, you're asking for a fighting in a show about pacifism, right? So it's like, like weird to me, but yeah.
All right, I think now we can move on to one of the best seasons of this year. I watched so many good, like, original anime, or not original, but like first season anime this season, and that is Spring of 2023.
Spring of 2023 was one of the best seasons.
So good.
Yeah.
Yo, Demon Slayer season 3. Am I right?
No. Literally, if we're starting off with that garbage, I'm gonna say garbage. If we're
let's just get it out of the way.
Sorry, Demon Slayer fans. I'm not a Demon Slayer fan. I guess you can call me a Demon Slayer hater because you're like, well, doesn't drop the show. No.
Wait, no. Can I ask you this? Why are you I know why I continued watching it. And it's definitely by force. But like, why are you still watching it? I'm so curious.
People are gonna really hate me for saying this, but
Pretty colors.
The animation.
It's ufotable. This man just loves ufotable.
I mean, it's the only reason I've basically continued. For those who don't know, I'm a huge Fate fan. And if you know Fate, ufotable and Fate go hand in hand. Ufotable and Type Moon in general go hand in hand. You know, they have a partnership with each other. So I'm watching it because of ufotable, and Demon Slayer is not. No, I don't think it's good, but I think I'm enjoying it for the pretty colors. I am. You know, I'm doing. It's the action meathead part of me because I said it about the Vinland Saga fans, right? And I know a lot of people, fucking hypocrite, right? No. I have an action meathead part of me too. There are some shows I watch for basically the action. There's some shows I watch. There's some shows I watch not because it's well written, but because of the shit. Not everything I watch is a good show. Not everything I enjoy is a good show. Now, will I say I enjoy Demon Slayer? At parts. I enjoy the fight scenes. I don't enjoy the story of Demon Slayer. I'm not ignoring the story. I just don't enjoy it. I don't think it's well written at all. I think it's full of holes and stuff, especially this season being the worst season of them all.
Yo, I'm gonna spoil Demon Slayer really quick. Did you like it when at the perfect timing she just became immune to the sun? Did you love that?
No, I guess, spoiler warning, but those who haven't seen Demon Slayer 3, skip this section of the video.
And also, why do you want to not get spoiled on Demon Slayer? This is my other question.
For me, that was completely because that was the big reveal Demon Slayer fans are making. And I guess a part of me is actually watching this because a lot of people have told me to let Demon Slayer cook. They have told me to let Demon Slayer cook.
What?
I wouldn't be doing that because they told me the same thing with Black Clover that I also dropped. I wouldn't be doing that if I like didn't enjoy watching it. I don't think Black Clover was well written. I didn't enjoy watching Black Clover, so I dropped that. I did enjoy watching the pretty colors of Demon Slayer, so I was like, I guess I'll continue. But so I'm letting it cook, and this is all to make the end video of no, this shit sucks. Here's why. Premium hater mentality right here. So this is the big reveal, right? And I finally got to the twins that a lot of people were telling me they were good. I thought both
Dude, that was crazy, dude.
I
I
thought
was
both
like,
storylines were ass. I'm gonna be honest with you.
also, we still don't really know what the love for Hashira does. Like, who is she? Like, we still
she had the whole thing of how she wanted to get married, of course.
But like, what? I don't know.
I didn't care. To be honest, she barely showed out this season. To be honest,
honestly,
they like tried to re-emulate the hype from the end of season 2 and failed, if you ask me. But the whole big reveal of Nezuko was stupid. Because there's no reason why she couldn't talk this entire time. And
right.
they gave us a reason in the show. For Demon Slayer fans saying you're not paying attention, media illiteracy, right? That crowd. No, I'm paying attention. I heard in the show where they were like, oh, well, she prioritized staying, keeping control instead of being a human, and that's why she had childlike personality. That's a stupid fucking reason. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make fucking sense, because that's just like that doesn't make sense. No, because I don't know why she would do that, because that just doesn't make sense. Because what's stopping her now, right? Did she finally gain control? No, she's been had control this entire time. She could have just talked. It wouldn't change anything in the story if she could communicate beforehand. That's why it doesn't make sense. Like in the world of Demon Slayer, right? It could make sense because the power system and all that shit, but it doesn't make sense in writing a story, because there was no reason for her not to talk. The author just didn't have it happen. Like, that doesn't make sense. And her being the one Muzan is looking for, sure, okay,
sure. I mean, I guess you got to progress the story somehow, right?
yeah, sure, okay. I mean, that just brings him more close to Tanjiro and stuff like that. And it's like, okay. I'm steadfast on the idea that Demon Slayer would have been a more interesting story if Nezuko was the main character and not Tanjiro.
I don't know about that. I haven't thought about it, but I don't know about that.
I very much enjoy, and to be honest, my main gripe with Demon Slayer was because my main problem with it, to sum it all up, my main problem with it was the fact that Nezuko's character and the treatment, how she's just been used as a plot device, and literally she's Deus Ex Machina every time Tanjiro needs her to save his ass. And this season tried to retcon that in a way by giving a reason why it's been like that this entire time, and the reasoning for it doesn't make sense. It's not a good enough reason. It's just not. Her not being able to talk, no. Because if she was immune to sunlight this entire time, then what was all this fucking for? Then it's just, I don't know.
I agree with everything you said, but the one thing that really pissed me off was honestly the sunlight shit. Like literally, what really like pissed me off was the fact that her skin was literally like deteriorating from the sun, and it's like. And then suddenly, bam, she's immune to it. I would have preferred if the sun comes up and Tanjiro's like scared for the sunlight to hit her, obviously. But then they realize, oh, it's not like affecting her. Oh crap, that's crazy. I would have preferred that, because then I could mentally think like, okay, maybe she's had immunity to the sun for some time and they just never tested it out. So I could be like, okay, I could get behind that more than, oh my gosh, my skin's deteriorating, I'm gonna die. And then, oh, right then and there, that one moment you decide to be immune to this, like, get the fuck out of here. I can't tell you how much I like. By the way, I'm watching this show because my wife is a super casual and she wants me to watch it with her. And I'm just sitting there, and my wife like about to tear up because she's like, "Oh my gosh, she survived!" And then in the background, you just see me with my head down, like, "Are you fucking serious?" And like, it's such a crazy picture when you see like my wife just like being so emotional, and I'm just like, "What the fuck?" Like, it's so funny, but yeah, if it wasn't for the love of my life, I would have dropped this show a long time ago. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I just don't enjoy the writing of Demon Slayer. I enjoy the pretty colors. I think the reasoning for Nezuko, that's my main gripe with it. The whole sun thing, I guess, okay. I just was mad that I was like, okay, she can talk now, and I was like, give me the reason why she couldn't talk before, and they did, and I was like, that's bullshit. So that's kind of my main takeaway from it. The whole deal with the twins, once again, I'll say this again, for everyone's reason that demons killed their family is bullshit. If everyone's reason is demons killed their family, then no one is special. All your characters are the fucking same. Like, you can't tell me there's no other reason why people would join the Demon Slayer Corps organization. Considering the fact that Home Dude was really like our ancestors. He wanted to join the Demon Slayer Corps organization before his family died. So it was just like you already had the reason. Why did you need to kill his family? Why did you need to make him a twin brother randomly pop out of nowhere for an emotional scene? Like, you didn't need that. Like, you really didn't need that.
Like Rengoku's story made way more sense. You know,
yeah,
what I mean? Like his family has been in the Hashira business for literal generations.
Exactly, and it's to the point where it's like, to me, I say this again, and I can't say this in detail right now because I'm talking, right now I'm talking, from my mind instead of, analyzing it and breaking it down. But I think my main gripe with Demon Slayer as a whole is Demon Slayer sacrifices good writing for shock value. Because when you look past the shock value of what just happened, you realize that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like,
it doesn't.
My main example is the guy that taught Tanjiro, Udokaraki, or whatever, how you pronounce his name. His 16 students that died from taking that exam. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that the exam to get into the Demon Slayer Corps organization kills humans. That's like the whole point of this organization is to save humans. So why can you die in the entrance exam? Like,
that's kind of crazy.
That's the entire purpose of the organization you're trying to join. Like, they're literally letting children die to get in. Like, that doesn't make sense.
You should just send them home and let them train again and then come back. Exactly. You know what I mean?
And a lot of people try to compare it to the Chunin exams, but I was like, no, guys, the Chunin exams, they don't actually die. The only reason we saw people die is because the Sand Village was, I guess spoilers for Naruto, was the Sand Village was, infiltrating, and it was like a secret invasion in the Chunin exams. That's the only reason people died. But in the actual original Chunin exams, there are senseis there to stop kids from dying. Because why would countries send their ninjas over to another country just to die? That doesn't make sense.
And also to play devil's advocate, if you still think like, oh my gosh, like these they're killing off their young ninjas, this is to become a Chunin.
Exactly.
This is not to become a ninja. This is to rank up and like be squad leaders. Because when you're a squad leader,
why would
people
they want
actually die?
Like, you can still fail the test. Like, you can still fail the test without them having to die. Like, because on top of that, the whole plot in Demon Slayer is that they're running low on Demon Slayers. Yet to get into the organization, you kill kids.
No, that's crazy.
And then we have the leader of the organization at the grave talking about all the children I lost. I was like, motherfucker, your entrance exam kills more kids than at this grave. Like, what are you talking about?
And to not drag on the Demon Slayer thing, we can end it off here. But like the last thing I wanna talk about is the fact that the next arc is the Hashira exams. Yet Tanjiro has killed more upper moons than any Hashiras ever have. And I'm like, and you still want him to take the exam? I think he's qualified, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Like, this shit, like that blows me, bro. I'm like, pause. This shit blows me. I'm like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. This dude has been in two missions to kill upper moons and did them. Bruh. Yeah. What the fuck? I don't know. That's crazy. Anyways, let's move on to actual good shit.
Yeah.
This season's full of amazing stuff. Honestly, RJ, go ahead and start with your peak. Start with your peak, bro.
Shit. All right, let's move on to. I'm just gonna get out of the way. Not get out of the way, but I want to talk about Heavenly Delusion.
That's not what I thought you were gonna do, but yeah, let's do Heavenly Delusion.
I know what you thought I was gonna do, but I'll get to that one later. But
okay, bet.
I want to start with Heavenly Delusion. Heavenly Delusion is, to me, it's like it's cinema in anime form, right? It is the appeal of this story is the fact that it doesn't tell you exactly what's going on. It tells you everything you need to know to piece the puzzle together yourself. And by the end of the season, at least I hope you are, able to piece together the mystery of what's actually going on. And when you do, you're just like, oh my God, you look back and you're like, oh my God, it all makes sense. And I love that. Normally I wouldn't love that because I was like, well, that wasn't enough for me to actually care, but they still make you care about the characters because you still bond to the characters by them doing weird and wacky shit throughout the season. And it's just subtle storytelling writing at its best, to be honest. And I just absolutely loved that. Animation was great. The production value was incredible. And watching it weekly was just, it was amazing. I'm envious of the people that get to go and binge it. I'm kind of really pissed that season 2 hasn't been announced yet. Like,
no, that's crazy. Like, because of the way it ended, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, where is it? Like, season 2, like, production IG, I need season 2. Where is it? Where is the announcement? And
I'm like, dude, production IG is not Madhouse. You guys usually make season 2s. Like,
exactly. So yeah, I enjoy it. Heavenly Illusion is one of my favorite of the year, to be honest. And I gave it my best of the season this season, which was very hard because this season was really good. But I gave it my best of the season this season.
So even after what happened in the last 2 episodes, you still think, like, you still believe it's like the best of the season, even like kind of like that bitter ending.
Yeah, the bitter thing knocked it down from best of the year. I think it's a contender for me, but now other anime were not competing until the last 2 episodes, where I was just like, wow, okay, that was kind of rushed. Wow. And I don't think that was handled very well. Like, the touchy subjects of what went on in the last episode, I don't think that was handled very well writing wise. But even then, I still think it was still overall an incredible show.
I liked Heavenly Delusion, really. Like, again, I thought it was going to be anime of the year contention up until the last 2 episodes. And honestly, I think if a season 2 was announced, it would not solve everything, but it would make me more optimistic about still putting this up as an anime of the year candidate. And I just hope there's a season 2. I really want them to kind of like better, analyze all the characters involved and everything. And like, it was a great reveal at the end. It was a cool reveal.
Yeah.
But man, it needs to be fleshed out more. I hope, even if production IG doesn't like continue, I need another studio to pick it up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, another studio to pick up season 2. Please don't be like Studio Dean or something. Like, no disrespect, but like, just please.
All the disrespect for me, but
yeah, that's crazy. I know why too, but great anime for sure. What's there to say? Great storytelling, great characters. I think great mystery. Like, it's good.
Yeah, go into Heavily Delusion blind, I would say, is like one of the best viewing experiences for any new fan. Yeah. And just pick up the pieces as you go. It's subtle storytelling at its best, if you ask me.
Yeah, and we still don't know everything about the world. We just literally, but it's enough to like have us understand a little bit and then keep going. Like you said, like it does a great job. Anyways, I'm gonna go on to Yamada Lvl999. You didn't complete this one, right?
I did complete it. Yeah.
Oh, you did. Okay, but me personally, I liked it. I don't know, man. It's something about it. It's not my favorite romance of this season. We'll get to that later. But I think it's a really good romance, and it deals with relationships in a very adult way. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like, and it's not even just because she's in college, right? Like, it's not even just because of that, but the characters feel realistic. As unrealistic as anime is, the characters and the way they interact with each other feel like I've met these people before in my life, or like maybe when I was in college, I met a couple of people like this. And that's honestly why I really liked Yamada Lvl999. The character writing is great. I don't particularly like the story like that. Like it's a cool story, but it's not like amazing. But the characters are what made me like attached to the anime. I don't know if you got anything to add to that, but that Yamada was a surprise, like good anime for me.
Yeah, Studio Madhouse did what Studio Madhouse does best, and they kill every adaptation they touch. But yeah, Yamada is I think it was definitely top tier romance this year. I enjoyed it just because it was just like a fun, quirky type of show in a way where, like I said, the characters writing was amazing. I think the comedy was like on point. The Akane, the main character, is like one of my favorites. Just the way she's characterized and how it brings in the feeling that, you know, if you're chronically online like me, and you know the feeling of like meeting those people in real life and forming relationships via the internet. It brings in that feeling really well, and it shows how Akane is able to just like, she's just such a nice person. Because I remember that like there's a scene where she gets tricked by one of the characters, and the way she deals with it is not like an average kind of, like, she's very, very kind with it. She's very understanding, and it's like a refreshing take. And especially, you know, the way it ended, and like the building up the romance and things like that. And it was just really nice. It was just really nice, refreshing, fun little romance thing. I need them to continue it. I need them to announce season 2. It was a major disappointment at Anime Expo when they had the whole panel, and the big announcement was it was getting an English dub.
Damn.
I was, because they hyped it up. They're like, big announcement for Yamada Lvl999 at Anime Expo, and everyone rushed in. You know, I didn't even get into the panel. Like, it was full. Like, I was like, oh well, great. I love the fact that the anime is so popular. The panel's full as fuck. But the announcement was it got an English dub. I was like, wow. Okay. So hopefully Madhouse releases a season 2. It definitely needs a season 2. If the adult themes is what you liked about it, which was what I also liked about it, season 2 ups those to a lot. So more adult themes coming in season 2, if we get it. Get it. Yeah. If not, I might just pick up the manga. But I would recommend this to anyone that really liked romance like Wotakoi. Yamada
Golden Time.
Wotakoi, Golden Time. You know, adult romances. Yamada is really good. I enjoyed it.
And we both kind of experienced the same thing. We both went to cons and met like internet like friends, or
exactly,
like internet people we've like interacted with before. And like
I think it really captures that kind of feeling of meeting people IRL that you've met on the internet before. So
I mean, I hope I get to meet you at DreamCon. We'll see.
Hey.
We'll see, man. Hey, man, DreamCon was a vibe, bro. I don't know what to tell you. It was a vibe, man. I don't know. Hey, come out, bro. I'll show you around.
Hey, I'm trying to be there.
Yeah, you know. Hey, I heard Black Excellence is there, so hey, and you're one of them, so you have
to. You know, I'm trying to pass by. I guess moving on.
Quick little detour, dude. It's so interesting being one of like 4 Asians at like DreamCon, being like, yo, this is all right, cool. It's good, guys. Yo, what's funny is that some of the guys that I met online, they're like, dude, you stick out so much. And I'm like, you're right. Like, as soon as like one of the YouTubers that like I've interacted with, as soon as he came in to do his panel, he's like, oh, Archie, what's good, man? And I'm like, oh, of course he noticed me. Like, what light-skinned Asian dude here? Like,
that's funny.
Anyways, yes, let's move on to I want to get this out of the way. Hell's Paradise was a low-key kind of mid to me. I don't know if you got the same vibe, but Hell's Paradise was not Mappa's best work, as well as, I don't know, the fact that Hell's Paradise is in regard with like JJK and Chainsaw Man, and I don't even know. I honestly didn't even like it more than Tokyo Revengers, if you put in that category. Like, I don't get it. I don't know. Am I tripping? Because good fight scenes at some points, but like I don't get it. And I heard that the first arc was the best part of Hell's Paradise, and I'm like, I don't understand.
Whoever told the first arc was the best part lied to you. But
maybe they lied. I don't know. Maybe.
I agree with you. Hell's Paradise was unfortunately Mappa's throwaway anime of the year because it's Mappa, and I mean we're seeing what they're doing with JJK right now. Of course, they put all the resources in JJK, clearly.
Clearly, to the point where they want to quit, you know.
And even with all their resources, right? They're still having the animators, you know, work those terrible conditions. Hell's Paradise is Mappa's throwaway, unfortunately. I hope, my only hope for Hell's Paradise is that if it gets a second season, they do it justice. They actually give it the love it deserves. And I say that because my main thing with Hell's Paradise is Hell's Paradise. I didn't realize this until I started watching the anime because I read the manga all the way through. I read the manga after it was completed. Hell's Paradise is way much better binge. And it should be binged. I don't actually think it should be watched in seasons. Because the pacing for season 1 was just ass. Like it was so bad. It was so slow. I was just like, wow, are we gonna get to it? Like
Not for real.
But for me, I didn't realize that because I was binging it all the way through when I was reading the manga. So I didn't have a problem with the pacing. I was just, reading the manga. So I was like, oh, this ends. So I'm just going to keep going, and watching it and having to wait for it. I was just like, yeah, okay, this has pacing issues. So I think that if the entire manga does get adapted, then people will start looking at Hell's Paradise differently. At least, future generations will look at Hell's Paradise differently because they can binge it all the way through. But as of right now, yeah, it kind of suffers from being released in seasons, and also the adaptation it did get was not the best.
Good. I don't know what to tell you. It just wasn't good.
It was very clear that it was something that Mappa, the studio, and the production team behind it was just putting out. And not saying they didn't put a lot of work into it. I'm just saying for me personally, I got the feeling that they didn't put their best foot forward with the production, because they probably would have fixed from a director that, I don't want to say cared, but a director that was more passionate about the project would have probably fixed the pacing issues and probably realized, yeah, this shit doesn't work for anime. It worked for manga. It doesn't work for anime, and cut and sped it up to a good stopping point for the season. But we didn't get that. We got a throwaway season, to be honest, which is sad to see, but that's how TV works, So you need to make their money somehow. So
I had high hopes too, because people said it's in the same realm as like Chainsaw Man and JJK, and I'm like, well, Mappa did both of them and they did a well job adapting those, so I thought they were going to adapt Hell's Paradise pretty well. It just wasn't. It just wasn't.
Yeah. It's proof that the one studio should not be adapting 3 very popular manga like that, because one of them is going to fall flat. As for the manga of Hell's Paradise, I highly recommend it, but the anime, I can't recommend it until future seasons. It just, it fell flat. It really did.
Yeah. Well, let's move on from here. It's kind of sad to talk about Hell's Paradise. Well, what you got, RJ? What you got?
Oshinoko. Let's just go ahead.
Let's go. The best anime, best new anime of the season. Oshinoko.
Yeah. Oshinoko is a contender for anime of the year, hands down. A wildly interesting concept. A lot of people tell the whole thing is people tell go into Oshinoko blind, right? And I think Oshinoko blind will definitely give you a good viewing experience, but I don't really think you have to go into it blind, because the initial concept, of the doctor getting reborn as the twins getting reborn and stuff like that in the entertainment industry is interesting.
Spoilers, by the way. I don't know if spoilers for Oshinoko.
Spoilers for episode 1, I guess, but I won't spoil the big things. But it's interesting. But what got me hooked into Oshinoko is the end of episode 1. For me, I was just that's the spoiler that I think should not be told in this synopsis of the show. Because it fundamentally changes your viewpoint on the entire show, what you thought the show was going to be about. That is that reveal, and I was like, oh shit. From that, all I got to say is, Kana, best girl,
This guy is so on that.
Kana made the show. Kana made the show. You know, all the rest of the characters I love, I enjoy, but Kana was by hands down my favorite. Like seeing her journey throughout the show and the finale of the show, it was I was just like, is this what peak feels like?
this guy right here.
Yeah, I heavily enjoyed Oshinoko. I think character writing in Oshinoko is very well done. I think it's fun. I think it's quirky. I think the author knows exactly who these characters are, and I just love that feeling. Really,
I think Oshinoko, great anime. Still like it, but it was really weird to me having like a reality show kind of in the middle of it was a little weird for me. I'm like, I get it. Like you kind of need it to progress the story later on. You know what I mean? I totally understand its purpose, but to me, that was kind of weird to see in the middle of like this type of story. I think Oshinoko did a great job of making the first episode that like it's long. It's like an hour and a half or something like that. Honestly, if they didn't do that, I would have dropped the show. Like honestly,
Probably.
because
a lot of people probably would have dropped the show. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was so smart to make it an hour and a half because they how do I say this? They made it long enough to where it'll hook you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That very last part of the first episode hooks you, and you're like, all right, now I want to know what happens next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So perfectly done job for whoever's whoever made that decision. Hey, great decision. I don't know what to tell you.
That's what I'm saying. Because that's what I'm saying about Hell's Paradise. You know, that's anime direction. The director was just like, the animation production was just like, yeah, we can tell how this story works. You know, they read the manga and they read, because the first hour-long episode is the first 10 chapters of the manga. They read that and they was like, no, this needs to be the first episode. The audience needs to stop here, and this will hook them to watch the rest. That's anime direction right there. That's like someone purposely did that. You know, they did the same thing with, Frieren. Like, it was like, they need to watch this to be hooked on to watch the rest of the show. That's what Hell's Paradise was missing. If Hell's Paradise had that, we wouldn't have had the poor pacing adaptation we did. And just going back to that. But yeah, Oshinoko is great. Oshinoko is great.
Oshinoko, it truly is. Truly is. Now I did get kind of spoiled by manga readers. And it made me kind of nervous of what's going to happen in the future. I'm like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to like the show anymore if this is true, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. I'm not gonna give up on it. If you've been spoiled on what happened in Oshinoko in the manga, if you know, you know. Hopefully it doesn't get too weird. I don't know. But we can. I don't know, RJ. I know you got spoiled a little bit.
I saw like a panel or two, but then again, I don't trust manga readers' reactions, after Attack on Titan. So
that's true. That's true. We can get into that later. But yeah. We can talk about Insomniacs After School now. All right. To me, my favorite romance of this season. I don't know. It might be my favorite romance of the year. I'm not sure, but it's a really good romance. I like the concept of two characters that can't sleep at night. They got some type of insomniac condition.
Yeah.
I forgot RJ's one of them.
Sleep.
But yeah, they're like they need each other to fall asleep. And it's a cool concept. I like it. And the fact that they genuinely like each other, and that I feel like the romance wasn't too rushed or too dragged on. I felt like it was the right moment to like reveal like when they like each other and when they could like progress on their romantic relationship. I think it was great. It was amazing. Nothing too much more to say except go watch it. Like, it's great. The characters are great too.
I think it's one of the best slice of life of the year, to be honest. Hot take, I guess, for slice of life fans. All the best slice of life of the year came out this season. All of the best ones. All of them, if you ask me.
I don't know. Buddy Daddies is up there. I don't
know. Sorry, most of them, I would say. Because I did say Buddy Daddies is the best one for me. But most of like the top 10 list came out in spring.
Yeah. Spring had a really good slice of life.
It really did. Insomniacs After School, go watch it. I agree with everything. It's one of my favorite of the year, to be honest. And yeah, it's definitely it's another. I would say it's another contender for anime of the year for me personally.
Oh, honestly, it's one of mine too. But
Yeah.
I have a bad feeling like no one's gonna see it like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's one of, I think it deserves to be in that like top 5 like nominations for best like anime of the year. But like I don't think anyone's gonna go for it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of mine.
Yeah.
But any other anime from spring that I really want to talk about?
Yeah, let's get through the new ones, and then we can get to the sequels.
I know you didn't enjoy it, but I heavily enjoyed Skip to Loafer.
Man, I don't.
I thought it was an amazing drama. I hope we get season 2. Skip to Loafer was one of my favorite dramas of the year. Shout out to my girl Mika. But yeah, I there's nothing much else I can say about Skip to Loafer other than I enjoyed it. The Dangers in My Heart was another one that a lot of people enjoyed. Another romance that a lot of people enjoyed. A lot of people would say this is their favorite romance of the year.
I tried so hard to watch it, and it was like, man, I can't get over like
it's
how
tough
cringy. I can't get over how cringy the characters are, bro. I'm like, what? What is this?
I think it's a tough sell initially until you get to like episode like 4 or 5. I think it has a very rough start, and then it starts becoming a little heartwarming by the end. I'm excited for season 2. I think they were just released like a spin-off anime, like
spin-off,
and like either like this week or last week. Either way, I'm excited. Dangerous Heart, I thought it was pretty good. I wouldn't say it's the best romance of the year, but I definitely enjoyed watching it weekly, and it definitely, no pun intended.
Let's go back to Skip and Loafer really quick. I don't think it's bad. I just
darker.
I need to be in a certain mood to watch it, as well as like it just reminded me so much of different K-dramas me and my wife have seen that I'm like, I feel like I've seen this story before. Like I don't, it was just one of those where it was just not the right timing for me. You know what I mean? I think I could see why people like it, but it just wasn't for me at the time. Just to go back on that.
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, I heavily enjoy those two both. Heavily recommend those two both. That's
I dropped My Home Hero.
I also dropped My Home Hero.
Dude, I when I read the synopsis, I was like, this could be good.
Yeah.
Dude, it was just not it. It was terribly executed. I
also dropped that.
Anyone who doesn't know, read the synopsis of My Home Hero. You can't tell me that could be a good show, but it's not.
I read the synopsis, saw the trailer. I was like, oh, okay. All right. And then the execution of it was rushed and the characters were poorly characterized back to me. I heard from manga fans that they did cram like the first like 10 chapters into episode 1 or something like that. I did hear the adaptation was rushed. So that's probably why I didn't enjoy it. So maybe if I read the manga, I'll enjoy it, but don't read manga like that. So one day.
Another anime we dropped, Mashle.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Like literally, it's like take One Punch Man, Black Clover, and and make it not funny, and that's Mashle. I don't understand why people find it funny. I don't get it.
I really don't get it. I watched the first 2 episodes, and after episode 1, I was like, ugh. And after episode 2, I was like, I barely finished episode 2. I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not gonna put myself through this. I dropped it so far. Like, and to be honest, it's the same experience I had with the manga. Because when the manga originally came out, I read the first chapter and I was like, nah. And then I dropped that, and then I was like, oh well, anime maybe I can, because I like anime over manga. Maybe I'll enjoy the anime more. Nope. I'm done. I don't like Mashle. I just don't. It's not funny. It's kind of boring. The tropes are overused. The music is great though. The music's live.
If you want to watch something like similar to Mashle, but it's actually like decent. Just watch One Punch Man and Black Clover. Like honestly, like it's at least RJ like pushed through more episodes of Black Clover than Mashle. So
I would say, yeah, I can confidently say I don't like either, but Black Clover is better. Like, I'd rather, if you ask me which one would you rather watch, I'd pick Black Clover. I could not sit through Mashle. I couldn't.
Interesting. Oh man, that is so funny, dude. Like it literally, I see Mashle everywhere on Twitter and online, and people are talking. I'm like, how? Like how? Like,
yeah, I don't get it either. As for new anime, to finish off my list, Magical Destroyers was surprisingly fun and entertaining disappointment. It's basically, it's not Studio Trigger, but it's very Studio Trigger influenced. And it's basically about, it's now illegal to be a weeb. It's now illegal to like anime, right? It's like this fun little concept, and the magic, and they enlist these magical girls to help them fight the police that is trying to stop them from being weebs. And it's like a fun little concept. Interesting, and a lot of Studio Trigger influence with the wacky animation. But it was boring in the middle. It was interesting in the beginning, interesting at the end, completely boring in the middle. I almost dropped it. So do I recommend Magical Destroyers? No, I don't. I don't recommend it. I recommend watching the OP and ED. Those are very well done.
Ooh,
right. Yeah. If you want a good anime OP and ED, go on YouTube and check out those. They might convince you to watch the show, but don't actually watch the show. Don't waste your time. I wouldn't recommend it. And I think that's all for the new anime I watched, like non-sequel anime I watched this season.
If I could just throw out one more new anime, Deadbound Death Play was surprisingly decent.
Mm-hmm.
I never finished it. I'm not going to say I dropped it. I just stopped watching for now, but it was interesting for a reverse isekai. It was like, oh, interesting. And it actually was decently written. Like, it was surprisingly not trash. Like, I don't know if that's a good thing, but it's not trash. Go ahead and try it if you want. I think it's actually decent.
I will try it one day. It is on the watch later list. I have not completely ignored. I haven't seen the show at all. So yeah.
All right, let's get into the best sequel of this season, which is Gundam Witch from Mercury.
Hands down.
by far. Dude, it's competing against Demon Slayer and Dr.Stone. Like, let's be fucking for real.
I think the only one competing with it, even though I like Dr.Stone, Dr.Stone's not competing. Demon Slayer's not even on my list. But the only one I thought was competing with it, which I haven't seen yet because I'm waiting to binge it all the way through, is Ancient Magus Bride Season 2.
I heard good things about Season 2.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Season 1, and I'm waiting for Season 2 to wrap up because I think it's airing currently. Like the second part of Season 2 is airing now.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for Season 2 to completely wrap up, and then I'll binge all of that. So I haven't actually checked out Season 2, but from what I know of Season 1, I can assume it's competing with Gundam Witch Mercury, but no. Like, I enjoy it. I think Ancient Magus Bride is one of my favorite anime fantasy stories, but Gundam Witch Mercury is on another level completely.
It's just different. I don't know what to tell you.
It's different. I mean, it's Gundam. Also,
yeah. Even if you think the ending felt rushed a little bit in Gundam Witch from Mercury, it's still amazing, dude. I don't know what to tell you. It's still good. Like,
it's good.
So good. And two, like, there are multiple like good well-written female characters, like multiple of them.
I mean, that's the entire cast. That's the entire cast. Like,
sure, it's man. Even the guys, like even the spoiled, like I forgot the dude's name, but like even they're like really well written. You know what I mean?
It's one of the. It's definitely another contender for best anime of the year. I'm not going to give it best anime of the year because it technically came out last year. I did give it I think it was my number 3 from last year. I think Gundam Witch Mercury.
It was up there. It was like 2 or something.
I definitely gave it. I know for sure it was in my top 5 of last year. I definitely sung its praises. Like, it was my best of the season it came out last year, and it was one of my top of anime of last year. So I like 100%.
Bro, the ending of season 1 was such a shock factor.
Oh my goodness!
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. Go watch Gundam Witch Mercury. Even if you haven't seen Gundam, watch it.
It's got, dude, it's some of the best action you'll see this year too. It's so underrated, the action in this show. Like, people want to say, oh no, it's JJK, it's freaking Demon Slayer, the best action. No, dude, watch Gundam Wish from Mercury season 2. Like, that action is insane.
That shit
People don't
was
want to
hype.
give it credit.
That shit was hype.
To touch on Dr.Stone season 3, cool 7 out of 10 anime. It's cool.
I haven't seen it. I've seen season 1 and 2, and I'm waiting for season. Actually season 3 is already wrapped up, isn't it? But
it's wrapping up soon. Yeah,
so it's also airing this season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to wrap up, and then I'll binge season 3. The movie, the 1 hour special, and then season 3. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
So I have to watch that and then season 3. But yeah, Dr. Stone's cool 7 out of 10. It's cool.
It's just cool. It's like it's decent. Like, it's inoffensive, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I enjoy Dr. Stone. If someone said, I like Dr. Stone, I'd be like, you're okay. It's I let them in. I let them in the club versus a Demon Slayer fan. I let them in.
Right. Anyways, anything else you want to go on to for spring?
No, I think we covered spring, to be honest.
There's a lot in spring.
There's a lot in spring. Spring really hit.
All right, let's go to RJ's least favorite season of this year, summer 2023. I actually think it's well, honestly, if for new anime, I think it's pretty weak.
Yeah,
for sure. I only watched 2 new anime this season, and one of them got canceled. So, oh man, dude. I don't know if this happened at Anime Expo, but at DreamCon, they were giving out Zom 100 lanyards, and I got one. I was like, "Yo, this is so exciting, dude!" Now I'm like, man,
yeah.
What could have been? You know what I mean?
It could have been, I think if the anime was given its proper, time in the light, like it was predicted to do, it would have been like the next Spy Family, pretty much.
Yeah, it really could have been.
It would have been the next Spy Family of on that level of hype, and then died down, and then still been a very successful anime regardless of social media hype. But the delays killed it. They absolutely murdered it.
I mean, it's the anime that's like, oh, that's me for real. That's the me for real anime.
I actually think, because we're recording this on December 12th, I actually think the last 2 episodes are supposed to air soon. I think they're coming out the 14th. I'm not sure.
I hope so, because that momentum got killed so quick. And it was still good though. That's the thing. It was still good. Mm-hmm. I was so mad. I didn't even watch the most recent episode that they put out because I was I was like, you know what? If it's not going to be finished, I don't even want to watch this. Like, just if they are releasing later this week, like you said, I'm gonna have to catch up. Like, watch that last episode and then continue on. I was just the potential was there. You know what I mean? It's right there.
It really could have
been.
It really could have.
Anything else you want to?
I just. For a new anime, yeah, that's why I say this was the worst season. Although I did have some of my favorites from this season. Undead Murder Farce was one that I really enjoyed. Supernatural murder mystery.
I watched the first episode. I don't know why I didn't continue. I think I just need I need a sit down session with it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I need to just binge it all whenever I can. But I enjoyed the first episode. Like, it was enjoyable.
Yeah, I think it's it's not the best thing ever. Which is it's weird because I'm weird me saying that because I gave it best of the season, but that's how to tell you how weak the season was for me. But I don't think it's the best thing ever. I think it's a solid 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 at its peaks. I think it's a good show. It does what it does well, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we can talk about the anime you didn't like for some reason, which is My Happy Marriage. This was my favorite anime, or my favorite new anime of this season. Mm-hmm. Hey, look. I think it's good. I don't know what to tell you. It's an adult romance that RJ will say, like, there's not a lot of explanation to certain things of why the family dynamic is the way it is. But if you're like, I would say if you're in an immigrant household, you could honestly like infer what the family dynamic is. Like, it's very Asian-esque, like immigrant family type of dynamic. Like it's like I understood like from the moment, but I can definitely see why people are confused, like why the dynamic is the way it is, because they do a terrible job of explaining like why it's like this. But I got it though, and I got it. But you know, I liked it.
I thought the show was okay. I didn't hate it. I thought the show was okay. That's all. What's it? That's all I have to say.
I mean, it's romance with like a sprinkle of powers for some reason. I still like there's a power system in there.
I will give it that. I thought that was a very good twist because the power system was not in episode 1 at all. And then episode 2, he's just like, yes, we have supernatural powers. And I'm like, what?
That's cool. It was cool.
I thought that was a very, very cool addition. Like that did keep me watching the show. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
And we find out that certain families have different types of powers.
Yeah.
And it's like that's cool. I thought that was a cool addition. I did not see that coming from the show. Yeah. Okay, all right, we got powers. I enjoyed that. It explains why certain families get married to other families. You know what I mean? To keep it's interesting. I liked it.
Yeah. Overall, I thought it was okay.
But this is the season of sequels. You know what I mean?
This is the season of sequels. It is. Because new anime did not really show out this season. To wrap off the new anime, I guess the only one I really technically enjoyed and not really enjoyed, kind of just watched casually, was the girl I forgot her glasses. Shonen romance.
Oh, was that the Discord girl romance?
Yeah, that's the Discord girl romance. It was okay. Solid at best 7 out of 10, but I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 to be honest. It was all right. It's a nice, heartfelt romance. A lot of people were picking on the animation at the beginning. Studio Gohan's. If you haven't seen a Gohan's anime, then it was
Gohan's did it.
Yeah. If you haven't seen a Gohan's anime, it's very jarring to you. But if you've seen a Gohan's anime, you're just like, yeah, this is just Gohan's, guys.
This is just Gohan's.
I don't know what else did you guys expect. Other than that, I would say the Masterful Cat, comedy anime about a cat who's a housewife, technically.
That's weird, but all right.
It's weird, but it's funny because it's just pet takes care of pet owner, not the other way around. It's like that joke personified into a show, and it's a nice, fun comedy. If you want to just watch it casually, I don't think it's gonna do anything great, but I enjoyed it. It was a nice, fun comedy. Once again, it'll probably be forgotten about. I'll probably remember it in a couple of years. Like, I did watch that. I did enjoy that. That was fun. Okay, moving on.
So out of the plethora of sequels that came out this year, there were a lot of good sequels that came out.
There were a lot of good.
Honestly, I already know what your number one is.
Rent a Girlfriend season 3, right? Yeah, that was solid, right?
I keep forgetting you watch that shit. I forget. Honestly, I block it out of my memory every time. Like, fuck, RJ is a Rent a Girlfriend fan. I forgot that shit. I'm like, this.
No, that's not the best.
That's why you think this season sucks. You watch Rent a Girlfriend, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Probably.
Oh my gosh, this guy pissed, dude. Out of all the shit for you to watch, you watched Rent a Girlfriend season 3. Let that shit go, bro. Do you want to see the cum scene in the pool, bro? Is that what you want to see? Like,
I want to have my own take on it. Yes.
This guy. If you guys don't know, all right, I spoiled it for you. But in the manga, there is a panel. I wish I could block this out of my memory. There's a panel where the dude literally comes in a pool because he was so horny. What? Why do you want to see that? Why do you want to see that, RJ?
Because I want to know the context. I want to know what's going on. I want to. It's my trash watch. And for some reason, anime with girlfriend in the title seems to be my trash watch. But after Domestic Girlfriend and what that put me through, I didn't. It's just I need another trash watch. I need another trash watch. So
you don't. That's the thing. You don't need it. Actually,
I do need it. I need what's gonna fill my trash space? What's gonna fill it? And when I say trash watch, what I mean by is shows that is bad, right? You'll never claim that it's good, but you watch it anyway, not to hate on it, but because you just need something you need something bad to watch. You need something good to watch. You need something bad to watch. It's hard to explain, right? It's hard to explain why I'm watching this trash ass show, but I'm watching it because I'm like, I like I enjoy rolling my eyes at it, like, oh my god, Kazuya, get your shit together, man. Why are you such a bitch? Like, I enjoy yelling at the screen. Like it's like a sporting event for me. What are we gonna do today? What type of stupid shit we're gonna get into today? You know, like
the fact that it's character development, that you threw away the tissues that you ejaculate into, is crazy. That has to be the character development. That is crazy to me, bro. That's character development. Like,
it's like if I was standing in the crowd and they list all the bad things about Rent a Girlfriend, like, you are exactly right, and that is why I'm watching the show, because it's like going to what stupid shit am I getting into today?
This is the crazy shit. They are in college.
They're in college, yeah.
And when I picture college anime, I think, all right, more mature, that it's not going to be too childish. The epitome of childish ass anime. This one, these guys are legal age, and they're like, and the progression of their character development is, oh, I'm gonna throw away my cum tissues. Like, what the fuck are we doing, bro? Like, what are we doing?
Now that we're talking about peak, let me stop. No, my actual favorite sequel of the season, personally, it's between. Go ahead.
I can see it between like 3 different anime for you.
It's between Horimiya and Mushoku Tensei.
Not Link Click?
Oh fuck! Link Click did come out. Yeah, fuck all that. Link Click.
I was gonna say. I was like, Link Click's not in there. Like, what?
Link Click did come out. It's funny because Link Click's listed at the bottom of my anime list because it's a Chinese anime. But yeah, Link Click. Yeah, no, fuck yeah. Sorry, Horimiya. Sorry, Mushoku Tensei. Link Click's my favorite.
This guy right here is like, oh man, I knew Link Click was going to be up there for you.
Yeah, Link Click was the best of the season, hands down. Season 2 took the greatness of season 1 and elevated it to heights that I was just like, oh shit, this is fucking incredible. Watch Link Click, like, shit. I don't know.
The Chinese are doing such a good job of, like, making me believe they can make good anime. I'm like, yo, this is like really good, actually. I actually don't even know what Link Click is based off of. I don't know if it's like some type of Chinese like lore or some type of like book or story that someone from China made, but
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it has influences like any other media, but no, it's the director of Link Click. It's his original story.
This is crazy, dude.
It's all his original story, yeah.
It's a good story, bro. Yeah. Like, I want to know where he came up with the concept too. I'm like, yo, what inspiration did you have? Because it's interesting to have like a power system like that, but it's like broken but not broken at the same time. Yeah. Like, it's very well balanced. Like, dude, if you guys love like fantasy type murder mystery, dude, this is the show for you. It took me, season 1, it took me a little bit to kind of get used to like Chinese voices coming out of them. I don't know, it was jarring at first, but like you'll get over it. It's a good show. Good show.
I mean, for me, once you just watch enough foreign media, subtitles are just subtitles. Besides German is still very jarring to me, but it's such a strong language. Yeah, for me, I can tell the difference between all the languages, but it's subtitles and subtitles. But yeah, Link Click is the best in the show.
To quote RJ, basically his quote, they sound Asian enough, I guess.
No, that's not what I said. That is not what I said. That's crazy.
It's like Chinese, Korean, Japanese, same shit. Whatever.
No. I'm just kidding. Completely different shit. Completely. But Link Click was the best anime. I mean,
dude, that's a whole conveation in itself. This anime?
That's a whole conversation. I mean, it was so comfortable. I had to do a video on it, to be honest, to be like, hey, we got to settle this debate. But
I think it is. Me personally, I think it is.
Me personally, yeah. I would consider it anime. But yeah, Link Click, yeah, top sequel.
All right, so we went with RJ's favorite sequel of the season. I'm gonna go with my favorite sequel of the season, Bungo Stray Dogs season 5. Now, I talked about season 4 earlier. Basically the same sentiment, except season 5 did not have a backstory arc this time because it's literally continuation from the story going on with season 4. All right, if you guys know Bungo Stray Dogs, you know like they usually complete the arc that they're in within the season. This is the first time they didn't do that. They did not complete the arc in season 4, so it continues on to season 5. And what sucks even more is that after season 5 ended, still not done yet. The arc is still not done, and they're getting into some good shit. And the manga, it caught up to the manga.
Y'all
it actually
this hole.
It actually went beyond the manga. It went like a chapter over. And you could tell in the last episode of season 5, they extended that episode. It felt slower than the other episodes because I'm like, oh no, they caught up to the manga. So the first like, I want to say like 12 minutes was like an extension. Like it felt so elongated. But then the last like 8 minutes, like apparently, supposedly, the last like, I think 3-ish minutes, 4 minutes, not in the manga. They got permission from the writer being like, hey, we need something to fill this. Like, can you like give us like what you're going to write in the next chapter? They gave them what they were going to write in the next chapter, gave them a little preview, ended it. And I'm like, bruh, please, I need more. And there's not going to be more for at least like 3 years or something because it's a monthly manga, bro. It's a monthly manga. I'm so mad. I'm so upset, but it's so good, man. They delve into different types of lore in this season. They went into the dichotomy between Fukuzawa and shit. I forgot his name. It's like Fusishi or some shit. Let me double check. I want to get this right, because they deserve they deserve this much respect. Fukuzawa and shoot, what's the name of this dude? I forgot. Dang, part of the Hunting Dogs, Fukuchi. They're two friends that were training together that ended up being mortal enemies at the end of the day. One is the head of the Hunting Dogs, where the other one's the head of the detective agency going at it. Like whose ideals are gonna prevail? Man, it's so good, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's so good. And the fact that like a bunch of other characters from like the past arcs are also involved and you don't know whose side they're on. It's like, man, I can't praise Bungo Stray Dogs enough. Man, season 5, I think, is like my favorite sequel this year, possibly. Like it's so good. I just watch it. Please watch it. Watch it, RJ.
I will. Y'all, y'all in that Made in Abyss hole. For those who don't know, Made in Abyss also caught up to the manga as well. And which I'm pretty sure Bungo Stray Dogs is going to get another season. I mean, if for an anime to catch up to the manga, especially on its 5th season, you know the team, whatever team is adapting it, is very dedicated to that source material. So they're going to bring it back. It's just they need more material, right? Made in Abyss has already announced season 3, and everyone was just like, "What are you going to adapt?" And they're like, "We're going to adapt the manga when it fucking comes out, but just know we're going to do it." So.
Shout out to Bones, man. Shout out to Bones.
Yeah, so you know they're dedicated. Bungo Stray Dogs season 6 is a given at this point. I mean, no one adapts 5 seasons of a source material and doesn't finish the story, right?
Hell, Bones is adapting season 7 of My Hero Academia, so
I mean,
they're dedicated, bro. They're dedicated.
They're dedicated to their source material, which is cool. And other than that, I'm not gonna hold you. I think we can move on. Bleach.
Really?
Bleach. Yeah, Bleach was nice.
You don't even want to talk about Horimiya or Mushoku Tensei?
Horimiya for me, The Missing Pieces was a very nice return to the show. It really did feel like they were like, hey guys, so we didn't think Horimiya was as popular as it was. So here's all the shit that we should have adapted in the first season. Enjoy. And it was just like, yeah, bitch, thanks. But not to call the animators bitches or nothing. It was just a joke. But
right, obviously.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it. But it was a nice return to the characters, and all that shit should have been in season 1. But I'm glad now we have it. That watch order is crazy, but
that watch order is disgusting. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it.
I don't recommend it. No, I don't recommend it. Maybe if you stop like mid-season of season 1, like before you get to the season 1 finale, and then go watch The Missing Pieces and then finish season 1 finale, maybe that. But as for actually trying to watch it in chronological order, don't. But I enjoy
it. The best way to watch it is just watch season 1 up to the last episode, and then don't watch the last episode. Watch The Missing Pieces all the way through, and then watch the last episode.
Yeah,
that's the easiest way to see it.
Pretty much.
It's good. Oh, what's up?
I will say this. Actually, because I forgot about this. No, The Missing Pieces last episode actually takes place after the season 1 finale. It does take place after the season 1 finale, so you can't actually finish Missing Pieces without finishing the original show. So that's why the watch order is crazy.
I mean, the watch order is nasty, dude.
It's crazy.
I like Horimiya the Missing Pieces. It's just it lost steam for me. Like halfway through, I'm like, all right, well, I know this ends. Like,
yeah, it's literally I mean, it says in this how it's The Missing Pieces. It takes the kind of the plot out of the show, and you still get the character moments and the character development, but it takes the progression of the plot and the romance out, basically, because they included all that in the first season. They're not going to readapt it, so it literally is just the things they didn't adapt because they thought the show wasn't going to be that popular. They were like, when they released it, they were like, oh shit, people really love this. And I was like, yeah. Motherfucker, it's the top selling, it's one of the best selling mangas of all time. Like, what do you mean?
No, I don't know how they thought it wasn't gonna do
exactly.
Well, but did they ever announce like a season 2, like a real season 2? Or
nope.
No?
So I hope we get it.
I heard it continues on in college too. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I might just read the manga. We'll see. I don't know.
I hope we get Horimiya officially season 2. That would be fucking amazing. But yeah,
Mushoku Tensei season 2.
Mushoku Tensei season 2. Erectile
dysfunction.
The anime.
I think I liked it though.
I liked it too.
It's good. I think it's dude. This is what isekai is supposed to be: nonsense mixed with crazy, like great storytelling too.
Yeah, Mushoku Tensei still continues to be one of the best isekai out there. If it's not for you, it is a degenerate show. I'm not gonna lie. And if it's not for you, it's not for you at the end of the day. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought a lot of shit was crazy in this season, and there was sometimes I were agreeing with the haters, like when he trapped those girls in the room. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing,
bro? What are we doing, man? Like,
yeah, that is where I was like, guys, we can't defend this. We can't defend this.
Dude, you know what's crazy? I kind of tried, and then I was like, never mind, I can't.
Yeah, I was like, we can't defend. Like that specific episode, I was like, we can't defend this one.
I was like, hear me out. All right, I know it looks bad, but. And I was trying. I was like, you know what? Never mind.
But overall, I enjoyed it. Mushoku Tensei still managed to be a very interesting isekai, and like this is what isekai was meant to be, right?
Yeah.
Before we got all the shit we're getting now, and still getting, but Mushoku Tensei still tends to be one of the best isekai, and I'm excited for season 3. Really,
dude, the world building is so good still. Like it's still amazing. Like even. Spoilers for Mushoku Tensei season 2, by the way. But whenever they reveal like that one girl, and she what is it? And she still like remembers everything from the past, and she's trying to get back, and he's like, I don't want to go back, and she's trying to get him to help her go back, but he's like, no, I don't want to go. Like it's such a dude, I love that they don't stray away from the fact that they are from a different world. They don't stray away from that. They keep reminding you, yes, this is an isekai. Yes, they're not of this world, and it has consequences, or like in that world. It's like, man, it's such a great job. I also think
it's the girl he saved, right?
I don't remember if he saved that girl. But
in
the past life, yes.
Yeah, in his past life, it was the girl he saved, right?
I think so. Yes.
I think it was either the girl he saved, or it was the girl. Well, I guess saved because she got transported too. But either the girl he saved, or she was there at the accident. I think
yeah, something like that. She
one
might
of
have been just there. I don't know, something like that.
Either way, it was very interesting to bring her back and connect all that together. I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, like literally, it's all connected. Also, I think a funny scene in Mushoku Tensei is where he didn't know like Sylphie was that dude. And then he like questions. He's like, am I gay? Like I like this dude. That was funny, dude. I was like, dang, he's questioning everything now.
I mean, yeah, you know, I loved how casual he was about it. He was like, huh, I might be gay. Well,
and he's like, I think this dude just cured my erectile dysfunction. Like, is that why I can't get it up? Like, what's going on? Like that was hilarious. And honestly, I could see that happening. Imagine if someone's like, man, I can't get it up, and he's like, oh, it's because I don't like girls.
I can't get it up. Have you tried men?
That was mad funny. I was like, dude, great way to just throw that in there. Great throwaway, honestly. Yeah, watch Mushoku Tensei. It's amazing. Season 2, I think, built upon what season 1 did and made it better. I cannot wait for what happens in season 3 because according to people who have read the light novel, this is like season 3 is when like shit is gonna like go crazy. Apparently, supposedly, we'll see.
I'm ready for it.
I'm ready. And like you said, you know, Bleach, season 2, 1,000-Year Blood War arc. It was just cool.
Yeah, sorry, Bleach fans. Bleach is Bleach.
Dude, I don't know what to tell them, bro. Like I think season 3 will be better.
Yes, as someone who read the manga, they were getting towards the climax of the arc. It's gonna be.
Oh yeah, I've read the manga too. I don't know how much.
It's gonna.
I know it's gonna get better. It's just like, man, this was a slugfest. I was like, oh my gosh.
It's gonna get better. Bleach is Bleach. I'm just gonna let them ball out because they're really happy that Bleach returned at all. So and they not only did it return, but it returned with Kubo actually, being able to correct his work and finish it off the way he wants to. So it's like, yeah.
Happy for Bleach fans.
Happy for Bleach fans, and let them have it.
JJK season 2. Let's get this over with. The first it just got good to me. Like the last 3 episodes are really good. The rest of it pretty mid. I'm sorry, I can't. Like cool animation, cool fights, but the last 3 episodes are really like the highlight of JJK to me. And we're recording this on December 12th. So it could be honestly probably it'll be good like in the next couple of episodes. Like it's been getting better. I see this is the first time we're like, I see why they think this is really good. I see it. But the fact that you guys think this is peak from the beginning, shit, I don't know what to tell you, man. It was not great. It was very mid up until recently. So
are we?
But it got better.
So we're getting the entire JJK season 2 out of the way right now, right?
Yeah, let's just get it out of the way. Fuck it, let's just get it.
I have mixed feelings. I'm enjoying JJK heavily, right? As for the recent last episode, love Toto. Love him. Love that dude.
Best character in the whole show to me.
Every time he's on screen, the show goes from good to fucking amazing.
Amazing. Every time he's on screen, it's just
every time he's on screen.
This is peak JJK right now. Yeah. Bro. Every time, bro.
Toto Ai is one of the best characters in JJK. He's not one of my favorites, but he is one of the best. And I just love watching him. But as for my favorites, I'm getting to that. My favorite, spoilers for JJK, so if you haven't seen it, I'm about to spoil it. The anime. So warning. My favorite characters. I'm gonna list all 3 of them. Is besides Yuji is Gojo, which started Chibi off with Gojo getting sealed. Great. Nanami, he's dead. And Nobara,
who might be dead, but we don't know.
Who might be dead. I am pissed because I'm literally sitting here watching my favorite list. I'm like, okay, Gojo got sealed, all right, and then Nanami died, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, no, not just died. He got obliterated.
Like half his body got blew. So he's dead. There's no coming back from that.
There's no coming back.
He's gone. And then I'm just like, okay, that hurt. And the literal next episode, my next favorite gets offed. I am pissed. And I'm pissed for a reason of it being my favorite, and also from a writing standpoint, the absolute ball buster it is, because when JJK came out, right, everyone was praising it for its female cast and how it was not like other battle shonen, and turns out that was a fucking lie, because Nobara was just killed off for Yuji's development. And not to say she wasn't her own character, but at the same time, it's weird how Megumi and Yuji get these epic fight scenes. Megumi summoned that thing that fought Suguna, got that entire thing. Yuji, is getting the scene right now with Todo and then all that. And then Nobara loses her one and only fight that she lost both fights that she was in, because she also fought the sword dude that Megumi killed. So it was like she took no W's this entire Shibuya. And it was like, wow, okay. And on top of that, it's weird to me how she was like fucking up Mahito the entire time, but him running towards her was allowing her to touch. Like, I don't understand how he caught her off guard in the first place. Like, I really don't. Like, why didn't she dodge? Like, she saw him running towards her. Why didn't she move? Like, because she was dodging him in the alleyway like it was nothing. And then when she turned the corner, apparently now she gets caught, and it's like, yeah, he kills off another character for Yuji's development. And from what I hear from manga spoilers, it's not the last one. So yeah. I hate that trope of killing, especially female character, because it is what everyone's been saying. It's like, damn, the female character gets the back end of the stick every single fucking time with this trio shit, right? It's like, it's not as bad as Sakura, but it's like Sakura all over again. It's like, goddamn, especially because Nobara was a very cool character, and just seeing her fight was pretty cool. I wish she had more screen time, wish she had more limelight, wish at least took in one W this entire season. And it was just like, they try to retcon it by Mahito saying in the recent episode, the injuries that Nobara gave him are still affecting, and because she injured him so badly, he's weakened, which is nice. But at the same time, it's just like, I feel like you're just adding that in there to make us seem like, no, guys, no, she's just another female character I killed off for development. No, she actually did something. It's like it's a cop out, really. That aside, for what it is, because I can't change the story, I can't rewrite it. I did enjoy it. I do enjoy watching Yuji beat the shit out of Mahito. I like the fact that Mahito is just straight up evil. They're not trying to make him like a good guy, done wrong. Mahito, I like the fact that he's just straight up just fucking evil, and he likes being evil. Todo, that the man himself, fucking legend.
Big Todo, bro. I love fucking that guy. Man.
And I am enjoying JJK for what it is. Sukuna also, I enjoy Sukuna as well.
Sukuna was interesting for sure.
Sukuna is very interesting as a character.
As much as I thought that part was like whatever to me, I think like the type of action that he did, and like how like they portrayed how strong he is, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Like, it's all right.
I do like watching Sukuna and the kind of the lore behind him and JJK in general. I do enjoy it, because every time he's on screen, you get more JJK lore, and that's kind of what I really like about the show, like the backstories of what curses actually are and stuff like that. So yeah, those are my gripes and what I like about JJK overall.
I will have to disagree with you on something. I think JJK fans are right to say like the female cast is better developed in JJK than other battle shonen, but that's just because the bar is so low for battle shonen female characters.
Yeah,
the fact that the JJK female cast is one of the better battle shonen female casts, that shows you how bad other female casts are in battle shonen. I actually do agree that this is one of the better female casts in battle shonen. It truly, I think the way they did Nobara was good enough to where you could say it's better.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
The bar is just underground. So
it is. I agree with that. Yeah. And like I said, she's one of my favorite characters, and I heard that I'm not going to spoil it, but JJK manga spoilers are very rapid. I'm not going to add to that, but
very rampant.
I heard that more female cast members pop off in later arcs later on, so I'm excited for that. And I'm happy that she's not dead. They very much emphasized that there could be a chance that she's still alive. But at the same time, if she doesn't come back and whip some ass, I'm gonna riot, because it's just like, why are you either kill her off, You've already pulled my heart out. Either kill her off or give me an epic comeback. That's all I'm asking for. If I don't get if I don't get an epic comeback, I'm just gonna cry. I'm just gonna cry. That's all I'm gonna do.
I actually I wish she stayed dead if they're gonna kill her. Like the way like she died off for Yuji, I kind of like I hope she stays dead personally. But it's looking like the way they set it up in the most recent episode that we've watched, I have a feeling that she's gonna come back.
Yeah,
which is a little disappointing to me because to me it like kind of gets rid of the what is it? The stakes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it kind of makes the stakes not as high. If you can just bring people back like that, after that, I'm like, sure, I guess. But I guess you got to be obliterated like Nanami to be like really dead.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Because for like realistically, you know, she only got her eye blown out. So unless she bleeds out, she's not going to die. Like he only got her eye, right? So which was very brutal, but but she lost an eye. Losing an eye doesn't kill you unless you bleed out. So it's just like if they can stop the bleeding, then she actually, depending on how deep he got her, because if it hit the brain, then yeah, she's done, right? She's done. Yeah, if it hit the brain, it's done. Depending on how deep he got her, really. So it's like she could survive, but at the same time, it's like I said, it's either bring her back in a very epic fashion or just kill her off. Like I don't want to be like, yeah, we were wrong. I don't want the end she be like, yeah, we were wrong. She died. And it was just like, why did you even give me that hope?
Like, why'd you even say that then?
Yeah, I was like, why did you even give me that hope? So I just don't.
But credit to JJK fans. It actually is getting better.
It is, yeah.
It's not mid anymore to me, but it needs to continue to get better. You know what I mean? That's just me. Quickly, I'm gonna just go off the other two sequels I see that I saw. Masamune Revenge Season 2, surprisingly decent. I thought it was gonna be trash. I thought it was gonna be my Rent-A-Girlfriend for RJ, where it's like I'm just gonna watch it because I've seen the season 1. I might as well see trash. Fuck it. But it was actually decent. Surprisingly, like ended well. I don't know what to tell you.
Did they end the manga? Like, did it end? Was season?
No, it ended.
Okay, so they adapted the entire manga. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, actually decent. And Baki Hanma Season 2, not the best season of Baki. Great fights, but definitely not my favorite, but still good. Still good to me. It was still Baki. Still what I expected. Watch it on Netflix. It's actually like insane. But let's get into fall of 2023, where we get into some of the highest of highs of this year. You would say, right?
Yeah. It's fall and spring are literally neck and neck for best season this year. Like they're neck and neck. I
think spring had more quantity of good new anime, but the quality of fall new anime is just so high. I'm like, bruh, I'm only watching 3 new anime this season that I haven't dropped. Like 3 new, and they're all like peak. Like I don't know what to tell you. They're all 3 of them are peak. I'm like, yo, insane. But I don't know which one you want to start with though. Well, which one do you want to start?
Let's start with the ones that are not peak. So at the beginning of this, I said there's an anime in fall that I dropped that a lot of people are gonna be mad that I'm thinking about dropping. If I don't watch the next episode either today or tomorrow, I'm probably just gonna officially drop it. It is.
Oh, you're talking about that. You're talking about Undead Unluck.
It's Undead Unluck.
Let's talk about this trash ass anime, bro. I'm sorry, it's trash.
I think Undead Unluck is the same thing with Fire Force, except to a lower degree. Because I still find Fire Force enjoyable. I think Undead Unluck, because it's David Productions, right? Same studio. Undead Unluck has an excellent production value. David Productions killed it, as they do with all the anime they touch. Fire Force, Undead Unluck, JoJo's. David Productions. They know how to adapt a source material. However, their productions cannot change the writing of the source material. Right. So I think this is a case of a production studio that knows what they're doing when it comes to anime, that got a source material that's not as good as the quality of the anime. And I say it's similar to Fire Force, but I say Fire Force source material is kind of average. I would say Undead Unluck source material is kind of bad. And I hate saying that because I really wanted to enjoy Undead Unluck. I thought the characters were interesting in concept, terrible in execution. The story was, it felt like it should have came out 10 years ago at best. And it's just not up to modern standards. And of course, you know, you get from the manga readers, well, you have to get to so-and-so arc. And it's like, yeah, okay.
Don't care.
Yeah, don't care. Because I'm currently, as of me recording this, I'm 7 episodes in. I've seen 7 episodes of Undead Unluck, and it has not gotten better. It is all over the place. I don't think they actually know where they want to go with this story. It's the emotional moments they're trying to hit me with. I don't care because I didn't bond to any of these characters, besides like the main 2. But once again, they themselves haven't had a really emotional scene. It's other characters that they introduce a certain episode and then emotional scene that same episode. I'm like, okay, I don't care. The writing is all over the place. It doesn't seem like the show knows exactly what it wants to be. And we're 7 episodes in. And like I said, I think that comes from the manga being adapted in Shonen Jump, and Shonen Jump being kind of where you kind of have to find your footing, so you don't get canceled. And I can kind of see that with the writing of the show. So maybe when it does find its footing, that's why I'm kind of iffy on whether I want to drop it or not. Maybe I'll enjoy it, but I'm like, again, I'm 7 episodes in.
Right.
Like, it's like I've given the show fair enough chance. Like, but I'm not feeling it. I'm really not. I'm really not. Like, I kind of don't want to go back.
You guys see the background. Clearly I love what David Productions does. Avid JoJo's fan. I love David Production. They're one of the most unique production studios I've ever seen. They're very stylized. They do such a great work. They did great work with JoJo's and Fire Force. Undead Unluck looks good, but they cannot change the trashy writing of this show. RJ's better than me. I gave it 2 episodes and I dropped it. I couldn't do it. I think if Undead Unluck was done by any studio, it would be David Production out of all of them. But I don't know if it's the team or just the writing, because this is the same team that did Fire Force. It's a completely different team that does JoJo's, and this is the second anime that this team has done where I'm disappointed. Like, I was disappointed in Fire Force. I'm disappointed in Undead Unluck. It's like, it could be the source material or it could be the team. I don't know, but man, I had such high hopes for it because people liked the manga, and I love David Production. I thought it was gonna be something I would love, but it's not. It's just a mess. It's like JoJo's without the storytelling to me. Like, it's just weird for the sake of weird at this point.
Yeah.
So disappointment, man. I dropped it.
Yeah, I do. I looked at why people like the manga. You know, watching like YouTubers like Chibi reviews and talking about how he likes the manga, what he likes about the manga, and I just didn't get that. He got so much from the characters in the first episode, and I was like, I didn't get that at all.
I didn't get any of that.
I didn't get anything from these characters other than the fact that I hate the plot where it's like, I'm going to make you fall in love with me so I can control your Undead Unluck. I was like, really? You're a stranger. And on top of that, a lot of this sexual harassment. So I was like, I was just like, okay.
You're not wrong.
I was just like, Fuko, being typical anime swoon girl every time he says something. It's like, and then him just I'll get this. Undead Unluck does have a very I think the way they use their powers and the way that he discovers how to use his powers is very creative, and I do enjoy watching that. But that doesn't hand down the writing of, like I said, I don't think the show knows where it wants to go. One day we're what's the first 2 arcs? One day we're running away from the organization, trying to join the organization. We join the organization, and he gets like this random talking suit, and then you know, now we're fighting zombies, and it's like, what is this show about? It's like, I thought he was looking for a way to die. Like, why does he need this organization? It was like, oh, so they can stop chasing me. It was like, okay, but now,
okay,
now you're doing missions for the organization. Like what is going on? And it's just like, oh, you need to discover the organization's powers. And it doesn't seem like it knows where it wants to go. It just seems like it just has a bunch of ideas and concepts that it's just throwing at you. And some are cool, some are stupid. It's like we'll see.
All right, let's get into actual like peak, bro. I get sad when talking about Undead Unluck. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like so much potential, but all right. Honestly, you can pick from any of the three. I'm not gonna lie, you can pick from any of them.
Let's just get it out of the way. Let's just get the one that everyone knows we're gonna talk about. Frieren.
Frieren, man.
Get Frieren out of the way. Another anime of the year contender in my eyes. Frieren might just be my favorite fantasy anime. And I don't say that lightly because right now my favorite fantasy anime is Magi.
Oh, Magi's your favorite.
Yeah, Magi's my favorite fantasy. But Magi is a political I would say it's a political battle shonen because it technically is a battle shonen, but it's very political in its aspects of how it gets to those battles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the battles are very spread out. Like it's you're not going to have back-to-back action like in JJK or something like that.
Right.
But Frieren is a slice of life fantasy. And the slice of life fan in me is just like, this is literally what we've been asking for fucking ever. Like this, like the slice of life anime is just like, listen, you love slice of life. You also like fantasy. This is combined into one. Like, come on now. And I don't want to speak too early because I want to give it a couple of maybe like a year or so and see how I feel about Frieren a year from now. Because recency bias is a thing.
It is.
So I want to see how I feel about Frieren before I, submit it as my favorite anime fantasy. But it's up there currently. I'm really enjoying Frieren. I like the fact that it's slice of life and it's a fantasy, and sometimes it does action, other times, but the majority of the story is about these characters and the journey. And you're just spending a time with these characters and seeing a journey and learning new history about the lore and the world. And the fact that Frieren, I like the fact the misdirection of the characters. You think Frieren is like this stoic, cool, badass elf, and she is just one colossal fuck up.
She's just an old woman, dude. That's literally it. She's just an old woman, sleepy as hell, clumsy as hell. That's an old ass woman, bro. Like
old ass woman, and it's just like she has like her fuck up moments, like the recent episode where she's just like, fucked up. All right, so we're all just gonna jump out and hope for the best. And they were like, no,
that's the plan. That's the spoilers, but whatever. Spoilers, but that's the plan, bro. Like,
that's the plan. She's like, yeah, that's the plan. They're like, Frieren, that's a terrible plan. Frieren was like, oh, okay.
Oh well. Too late now.
she can be an old woman at times, and then she can be a child at times, and then she can be a badass at times, and her duality is just amazing. It's interesting. It's fun to watch. Same with the other characters. I like the fact that Stark isn't the typical badass hero. Stark is a fucking coward, and it's just like he really doesn't need to be. I like the fact that he's more on the like feminine side of kind of like being he's the boy of the group, right? But he's like more on the feminine side of just like, I don't want to do this. I just want to sit in my room and cry. And it's like, I relate to that. And then Fern, also one of my favorites. Right. The mom.
Fern's great.
Fern is great. Yeah, Fern is just great. Seeing her grow into like an actual mage and being like taking care of everyone while still growing up herself is fucking great.
I don't know if this counts, but I think Made in Abyss is my favorite fantasy. I don't know if that counts. I don't think Frieren's gonna be better than Made in Abyss to me, but man, is it that good? Like it's so good to where I considered it. Like, is it better?
I would say no.
Yeah, I would say no.
Like Made in Abyss is not my favorite fantasy, but as for a show overall, Made in Abyss ranks higher. I mean,
right. I honestly, I don't think that highly on slice of life like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be my favorite slice of life. It just the characters are so well written. It's not like they're doing nothing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there is some slice of life where you're like, what's the point of this? But in Frieren, I feel like there's still a point to it. You know what I mean? And the situations that Frieren gets into, I think they're very relatable in terms of like her past. You know what I mean? Like her whole party is like aging out, and like I love the line of like, for someone that lived for so long, these 10 years, as short as it is to you, affected you in the biggest way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, it just, man, it puts you into perspective of like, man, sometimes like that 1 year in your life is like, in the great scheme of things, it's like barely any time, but it affected you so much. You know what I mean? The connections you build and everything. And it's like, and I love that this isn't a fantasy where you go, the whole point is you go and like, you know, defeat the Demon King. That already happened.
Yeah.
This is everything after that. You know what I mean? And I love the fact that they also have like the times of like, this many years after they defeated the Demon King, and then it turns into this many years after Himmel pass. You know what I mean? It's like that is a point in your life that you refer to, a huge point in your life you refer to. I love it. I love it. And people are like, oh, why is she collecting all the students of her party? I think I'm cool with it. Hey, I wish Himmel had a student, but I guess he didn't. But either way, like, you know, I'll take 2 of HiDive's, you know, students, whatever, or students, I guess you could say, whatever. It's interesting. I like Frieren. It's something about it, about the characters, really, because the story really is just whatever to me. Like, it's not nothing, but it's like not amazing. But the characters, man,
it's the characters
so well written.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what else to say about Frieren. Just watch it. just watch it. It's a feel good anime for sure. Like, I feel good watching it.
Yeah, damn, same. Yeah, so that's Frieren for me.
All right. You know, we can get into the Apothecary Diaries because that's kind of fresh on my mind right now. This guy's so excited. Because RJ's actually the one that recommended to me Apothecary Diaries. I didn't watch it at first because I was reading the plot and I'm like, this doesn't, I don't know, it didn't seem great. And then I started watching it and I was like, I see why you like it. It's actually really good too. It's such an RJ show where it's like
an RJ show. It's like,
but what really like caught my attention was the fact that it's also like a mystery, like kind of thriller almost as well. It's like, that's what kept me going. I was like, all right, and a great main character and Mao Mao. Like, she's a really good female character, like amazing. Not even just female character, a great character. Like she's the perfect balance of like, I think she's quirky but not too quirky. You know what I mean? And she's also intelligent but not in an annoying way. Like, it's just, she's great. I love her, man. Great shit. I don't know if you can describe what Apothecary Diaries is, but man, it's a great show.
My experience with the show is I knew nothing about the show, didn't even hear about the show, right? I see the key visual on Twitter. I'm like, that looks interesting. I see the show reel, like the first trailer, and it tells you nothing about what the actual show's about. And I'm just like, I have a good feeling that the show is my type of show. And so I didn't watch any other trailer. And then when it finally came out, I went in blind and I was completely right. So the Apothecary Diaries is basically takes place in Chinese palace setting. So if you've seen shows like Raven of the Inner Palace.
Yes, very Raven of the Inner Palace.
Settings like that. And Mao Mao is an apothecary, which is basically a pharmacist. It's basically an ancient pharmacist, basically. They know herbs, they know drugs and stuff like that. And they give drugs to make medicines and stuff like that, or whatever they want to make, to be honest. Mao Mao is an apothecary who gets kidnapped.
That's the crazy part.
She gets kidnapped and she's sold into the inner palace, where she works as a little maid girl, right? And then in the inner palace, because it is ancient times and medicine and all that stuff was not looked upon greatly like that. It was looked upon kind of, it wasn't really understood that well. You know, the concubines, if you know what a concubine is, the emperor's multiple wives or multiple prospect wives, their babies are dying, right? And they keep losing the heirs to the throne. And they're just like, what's going on? What's happening? And Mao Mao, Mao Mao understands what's happening because Mao Mao, it's, you know, understands medicine. She's like, oh, I understand what's causing their deaths. I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, she understands what's causing death. And because she solves it, the lady in waiting, not lady in waiting, but the concubine finds out who she is and hires her as her lady in waiting. And now Mao Mao is a lady in waiting for one of the emperor's concubines, which is a very, very high status in the, not a high status, but a very prominent status in the palace. And now she's tasked as the palace apothecary, where basically they're kind of using her to solve different cases of people getting poisoned, different cases of drugs and stuff like that. And it's very interesting to see kind of the dynamics of how the characters interact with her, because she is commoner born, and that's a very prominent thing in the show. And it's very interesting. And the thing I love about the show, basically, for me, is how it handles its themes. It's a very mature show.
Dude, do not watch if you're like if you don't like mature stuff. It does not shy away from it. It really
does not shy away from it, but at the same time, it doesn't pull an excessive amount of it. Like Mao Mao was literally raised in a brothel, right? But
literally, like, dude, she lived right next to a brothel.
Yeah, she was raised in the red light district, which is a brothel district, right? And and it doesn't. Normal anime, not saying it doesn't have like tidbits of fan service, but normal anime would take a story like this and make it so fan servicey to the point where it's like boobs are everywhere, right? And Apothecary Diaries doesn't do that, and it still doesn't shy away from having a mature theme to it, and it talks about sex all the time too. And it's just like it doesn't shy away from all that stuff. It's very mature, but it handles the themes in a mature way that's very pleasing, and not the fan service doesn't ruin it. Like, it doesn't at all, because it barely has any fan service. You would think a show like this would, right? But it doesn't, and I heavily enjoy it.
I do like the interaction she's had with other characters, and she did say she only has to be there for like 2 more years or something, which is also interesting. So she has like a contract there. So I'm curious what they're gonna do after that contract is up, because she's very much an important figure in that palace now. You know what I mean? Like she's basically the doctor, even though there is a doctor there. She's the main doctor. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. Yeah, she's the main doctor.
Let's be honest. And I like that she has her own struggles too. She talks about them every now and then with her, like how she looks and stuff like that. I really like how they handle how she solves these mysteries, and how she's like, man, I'm not a detective though. I'm just an apothecary. But she ends up solving some of their problems. Yeah. You know, I like how very self-aware the show is. I think the relationship between her and that one dude is interesting. Jinchi. Yeah. Very interesting. Borderline harassment. I'm not gonna lie. Borderline, should he be doing this?
Yeah. It's funny because he's a pretty boy, so right, he thinks, I can just sway her with my looks like everyone else in the palace, and she's just like, what are you doing? Get away from me. She's like, yeah.
it's always the ones you can't get, man. It's always
it's so hurt.
But great show all around. I think there are some things that I feel like could bother people, like the fact that one of the concubines is like a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
That's a little disturbing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, right.
It's very disturbing, but I don't think the show shies away from it being disturbing, because the big reveal, spoilers if you haven't seen the Apothecary Diaries, but the big reveal of her is that she is the current emperor's concubine, but when she was even younger, she was his father's concubine. And then when Mao Mao pieces that together, Mao Mao was like, what the fuck? Like,
no, that's crazy, bro.
So she became a concubine when she was 8, and he was like,
8, 9, something like that. I'm like, what the
disgusting? That's gross. The show actually, it doesn't shy away from it. It shies away how. No. I am pretty sure when we get to her, we haven't gotten to her arc yet, but I'm pretty sure when we get to her, it's going to not shy away from how disgusting it actually is.
It's terrible, dude.
And it's like,
I'm like, yo.
Yeah, it's themes like that where I think can turn other people off, but I think how the show handles it won't turn that many people away. Like, the show very much says this is disgusting, but at the same time, it's kind of realistic to the times back then. Young girls unfortunately would get married off that young, and it's just like, you can't say no to the emperor, and it's like, this is some tough shit. So,
oh my gosh, dude, the big reveal at the end of the most recent episode made things make more sense to me.
So I actually haven't seen the most recent episode.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I'm going to watch it after we finish recording here. So I actually haven't seen it yet.
I hate this guy. To me, it made sense with why, like her family dynamic and stuff, and like it made more sense. I was like, okay, this is why, like they're okay with this. Like,
I heard
this is why. Dude, that was such a shock to me. I was like, whoa, and it made things like the puzzles were piecing together well. I'm like, all right. Dude, it's like all the stuff that like are just accepted. There's a reason why they're just accepted. You're like, okay, cool. But yeah, big reveal at the end of the last season. You're like, wow, interesting. Like, shoot,
you'll probably see me posting about it on Twitter later today. So
probably, but man, it's so great. Like, I would say this is the most slept on anime of this season because it's top 3. It's really 3 to me, but it's top 3. Like for sure. Like it's fighting up there with the other 2, Frieren and the other anime we're gonna get into. That RJ will by this time RJ would have made a video on it.
yeah. We could just go ahead and get into it. I don't think there's any other really show I really want to talk about, to be honest.
I'm so curious what you think of this, man, because at this moment the video hasn't come out yet, so I'm like curious, like what does RJ think? Come on.
I would say the only other anime I want to talk about, which we don't actually need to talk about because we've talked about it extensively before, was Spy Family. I mean, it's Spy.
We can talk about that. We can talk about that later, but
yeah.
Yeah.
But so it's Pluto. Pluto,
man.
Pluto is my first introduction into Naoki Urasawa and his work. I haven't seen Monster. I haven't seen 20th Century. I haven't read 20th Century Boys. I haven't seen anything from him. I know the name because it's Urasawa, right?
Legendary name.
Legendary name. How can I not know it? Pluto was my first introduction to anything he's ever written, and it did not disappoint. Pluto was such a fucking ride that I literally couldn't put it down. Like, I stopped watching seasonal anime to watch Pluto. Like I told you earlier, I was watching Charafuyu. I stopped watching Charafuyu to start watch Pluto because I was like, Charafuyu is 3 seasons, so I was like, I'll get to it. But Pluto was 8 episodes.
8 episodes. But it's the equivalent to 24 regular episodes.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm just gonna binge Pluto real quick, and yeah, it was an incredible binge. Great messaging. It literally, and I say this in the video, it's literally just an homage to everything I think anime stands for, to be honest. I think it's a great messaging through fantastical storytelling. And the way that Pluto, because the title of the video, at least unless I changed it, the title of this anime was, and it makes you less racist.
That's a wild title, and I don't know if it's gonna stick. We'll see. I
don't know if it's gonna stick, but that's the point of my video, is that Pluto is essentially about racism, and it's about racism through the ways of humans versus robots, and how these robots still, even though they're artificial, they're so advanced that they have their own form of humanity.
I mean, to be fair, not to cut you off, but to be fair, racism is such a it's such a huge topic when it comes to like mecha and sci-fi. Like it's such a huge topic when it comes to mecha and sci-fi. So I wasn't surprised that racism is such a huge topic in this anime, but the way they go about it is so interesting. Like,
it's about racism and hatred, and how hatred brings nothing really. And I loved the themes of Pluto and how it shows you through the eyes of these AI figures, that through these non-human figures you see so much humanity in these non-human figures.
Right.
And I just loved that. And to spoil Pluto, so Pluto spoilers ahead. By the way, if you haven't seen it, please go watch Pluto.
Please watch it, dude. Binge it on Netflix.
Ending it off with Astro Boy, or Adam, whatever you want to call him, was such a fucking fantastic pick. Because Gazette is the main character. Gazette is the main character, but the fact that he dies in like episode 6 or 7.
It's like that the episode before the last episode. So
so 7. Yeah, it's the fact that he just died. I'm like, oh my god, they just kill off the main character, and they did.
He's dead. All right, he's like, he didn't come back, and it's like, dude, no other anime could get away with this.
And it's like, I mean? The fact that they just killed off the main character and they ended off with Astro Boy, I think I say this in the video, it's a homage to what we know. Like, right? Most people don't know Gazette. And because he is an original character in Astro Boy, right? But he's a side character. He's
all the 7.
They're all original characters in the original Astro Boy, but no one knows them. We know Astro Boy. Whether you've seen Astro Boy or not, you know him. You know who Astro Boy is. Yeah. You know what he looks like. You've seen something of his.
The most influential anime of all time.
Yeah, Astro Boy. You basically you know who he is. Ending it off with something that we know just felt so nostalgic in a way. Even though I'm not that big of an Astro Boy fan, as an anime fan, it felt nostalgic in a way to see Astro Boy kind of wrap it all up. This entire story that it was very thematically paced, well written, great character writing all the way through. Pluto, damn near a masterpiece, to be honest. Like it was fucking incredible. It was fucking.
Don't even get me started, bro. Like apparently, to be give you more context. Like Pluto is technically an arc in Astro Boy that happened, but because it's written so differently, like they completely just like wrote it differently. Like Urasawa, like basically it's a brand new story altogether. This could be like a prequel to Astro Boy, really, if you think about it. The way it was written, it's like, you know, Astro Boy is considered the greatest robot to ever exist in that world. He's the hero of that world. And if you really think about it, I know it's an arc in Astro Boy, stop yelling it at me, but you could see this as a prequel because the 7, the big 7, I like to call it, technically they, as a collective, they are the strongest and greatest robots in the world. 6 of them died.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying, because you're saying basically this is how he became the singular greatest robot in the world.
The singular greatest robot. Yeah. He became the Astro Boy at the end of this. You know what I mean?
Because of this, yeah.
So it's like, dude, man, Masterpiece, I think, doesn't give it justice to me. I think it's just that good. Like I'm a spoiler for everyone else. If you've seen my top 25 anime of all time on the Flow podcast, I can leave that in description. You know, it changed a lot, and Astro Boy I think is at the top of that list. I'm not gonna lie. It's so me. It's such a me show. Like you know how Apothecary Diaries is such a you show. Yeah, Pluto is such a me show. As mecha, like crazy essential like racism, as well as like crazy problems of like socialism, classism, you know, wars between countries. The robot KKK was insane, bro. Crazy. They had hoods and everything.
I would say they're like, is that the KKK?
No, that is insane, bro. But it also tests you of like, you know, you may hate this organization and they hate you, but what is hating on them more gonna do for you? Yeah. You know what I mean? What is gonna change if you hate on this person? And you see it later on that the more you protect and love on these group of people, the more they're gonna change their mind. You know what I mean? That's what I loved about that. Dude, this is literally peak fiction to me. Like literally, like I don't care what anyone says, man. Like if people will say, "Oh, there's too much explanation. Oh my gosh, too much talking in this." Bro, you just can't pay attention, bro. Just say you got low IQ brain cells. Like I don't know what to tell you. They have to explain certain things for the world to make sense. There are some things where they could show you, but you're not gonna understand it. You're gonna say, "Oh, that's lazy writing." Then, all right, then the fuck. Like they have to explain certain things. Like they have to.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's an incredible murder mystery. I mean, Udasada really did not disappoint with this one. I mean, you know, he's been quoting saying this in interviews, right? You know, the work goes to Osamu Tezuka. None of us would be
the original Astro Boy, right?
Yeah, he got all of it from Osamu Tezuka. It's just reinterpretation, and it's just like Osamu Tezuka really was, and he continues to be. With his work being readapted, because this is not the first one that's been readapted first, like Dodoro, right? With his work continuing to come back to the limelight and getting the adaptations they truly deserve in modern 10, he continues to be ahead of his time. Like
he's dude, imagine writing peak fiction in the 60s.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, it's still good, bro. It's still good like 60 years later. It's still amazing, bro."
He continues to be ahead of his time. And it was just like, if Osamu Tezuka came out today, we would literally consider him I mean, we still consider him, right, currently one of the best writers to ever touch fiction.
He would be the best writer, to be honest.
He continues to be ahead of his time, because every time I see anime that's like, yeah, this is a re-adaptation of Osamu Tezuka's work, I watch it, I fucking love it. It's just like, this man was literally crafting out of his like, everyone calls him the Japanese Disney. That's an insult to me. He is so much more than what Disney could ever be. The man himself, I mean, not the actual company.
Right.
But right. He is so much more, because Disney, the man himself, just stole a bunch of ideas. He didn't steal a bunch of ideas. He stole a bunch of ideas.
He kind of did. He kind of
stole a bunch of ideas and then reanimated them. And he did well. Yeah. But Osamu Tezuka wrote his shit originally. Like, oh, that's Osamu Tezuka shit. There was no Astro Boy before Osamu Tezuka. There was no Dororo before Osamu Tezuka. Like,
and Urasawa like has stated like he is the reason why he's a writer today.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like he's like he almost didn't want to write it because he didn't want to ruin like perfection in his eyes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's crazy because Osamu Tezuka's done so much. Like, doing the my influential anime video, to discover that Osamu Tezuka not only wrote what's technically considered the first shonen, he also wrote the first shoujo. It was like he did shonen and shoujo, and it was like, damn, this man has done so much for the anime community. It's like, it's crazy.
Technically, he wrote the first mecha too.
Yeah.
Well, technically wrote kinda.
If you want to consider Astro Boy a mecha, yeah. Like, what we know as giant robots was done by Mazinger C. I don't know.
I mean, at the very least, he wrote like the first like sci-fi.
Yeah, it's Astro Boy is considered to be the first anime, which technically by definition, it's not the first Japanese animated thing. So that would be the first anime. But as for what we know as anime today, by like anime having a concurrent story and arcs, Astro Boy is the first. So it is the first anime. But if you want to get technical with it, technically it's not. It's whatever they animated, you know,
in the 30s, right?
Yeah, it's whatever they animated when they first got the technology of anime. Right. That's animation. That's technically the first animation, but no one counts those little shorts as anime. So it's like,
right. Your favorite anime is influenced by Astro Boy, like point blank. Period. Your favorite anime is influenced by Astro Boy in some way, and Urasawa just perfected the formula to me.
He really did.
Like this is, I don't give a fuck what you Urasawa dick suckers say. It's better than Monster. I haven't read all of 21st Century Boys.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's gonna be better than Pluto.
I don't know.
To be honest, it's literally Pluto is me. Like everything I love in anime is in Pluto. Like what can I say?
It was a fucking incredible show. I'm thoroughly impressed by Urasawa's work, to be honest. I heavily enjoyed it.
What is there left to say, man? Even the side characters were so well written. Like, they have different motivations too, and they have every reason to want to keep fighting the good fight against the being that is Pluto. You know what I mean? Spoiler alert, but Pluto is the antagonist of this show.
Yeah.
Man, the reveal of who Dr. Abula is, really crazy. The reveal of who Pluto is, really fucking crazy. Like, it, man, what more can we say? This is just perfection in anime. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Honestly, I think this is my favorite anime of all time. I'm not gonna lie. I think it is. It's so me. It's, man, what? I don't know. I don't even know what you're gonna say in your video, but yes, I'm gonna just agree with you right now. Yes, like, whatever you say based on what you're saying right now. Yes, I totally agree.
I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it, and once again, another anime of the year contender. To be honest.
By the way, I watched it 3 times.
You watched it 3 times. Wow.
I watched it once in dub, once in sub. Watched it again in dub to make sure like I got everything. I didn't miss anything. I watched it 3 times.
I watched it in dubbed originally. I haven't actually seen the subbed at all.
Still good.
The dub was very good.
Dub is very good for sure.
The dub was actually really good. I didn't expect it to be that good because I started out in subbed and I was like, let me just check it out in dubbed. And I didn't. I was like, oh, this is actually very well done. Like the dub was very good.
I mean the setting is, the voice actors did amazing, and the setting is in like more Western. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like an all world thing because I think Gazit is from what fucking
like Germany.
I think he's in Germany. All I know is Adam was the only one that was in Japan. So
yeah, Adam's the only Japanese one for sure. I think everyone else is in Europe.
Everyone else was around the world. Like it was So it was definitely an interesting show.
Yeah, so it makes sense that like it was good at English because of the setting. You know what I mean? It wasn't jarring to me at all. It's what did Pluto do wrong? Is what I'm wondering. What did it do wrong?
Do you want me to? I have a thing that it did wrong.
Okay. I'm curious. Well, what did it do wrong, RJ?
It's only two things that I think they did wrong. One, my biggest one was Brow, the robot.
That was weird. I'll give you that.
Brow knowing everything was weird to me. I was like, how? Like he was like robot Jesus. I was like, how? Like, don't get me wrong. I like Brow. Brow was very cool. Like I loved all the scenes with Brow, but the fact that he knew everything, I was like, how did you figure all this shit out?
And also, another gripe is why did they keep going back to him? That's what I want.
He knew everything.
Like, no, but how did they know he knew everything though?
That was very jarring. You know, that he really was just like from the time Gazit first told him shit was going down, Brow was like, I know who's doing it. I got this figured out. I'm there. And maybe the manga, I maybe had to read the manga. Maybe the manga gives you more detail of how he figured out everything. But that was my thing. And then my second gripe is the first episode, I think, is the weakest episode in the sense of the North number 2 B plot. The North number 2 and Mr. Duncan B plot was way too long, in my opinion. I think, like, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. It was well written. It definitely made me cry at the end. With how he bonded with the old man and stuff like that. But I think as long as it was, it's kind of a misdirect of what the show is going to be about. Like if someone were to stop after the first episode, and I don't think they would actually get what Pluto would be about. They would think that it's going to be these long tangents of backstories, and it's not. Like, because you spend so much time in the first episode with North number 2 and Mr. Duncan, and Mr. Duncan doesn't even come back. Like, that's the last time we see him. Like, we don't see him at all. And that, I felt, was a little jarring. But at the same time, the way the episode ends, because it introduces you to Adam. And if you know who Adam is, like, just seeing, because I was just like, wait a minute, is that Adam? Is like, oh, you're Adam. I was like, oh my God, it's fucking Astro Boy. Like,
Astro Boy, yo.
Oh, that's fucking Astro Boy. I think the way the first episode ends gets you to keep watching. And when I say weakest episode, I mean
it's still
an 8 out of 10. So like it's still an 8 out of 10 episode. Like I like that's what I mean by weakest episode. So it's really not that weak in the grand scheme of things. But those are my number 2. Those are my 2 gripes with it that I would say I'd be like, if I were to deduct points, but I don't think those really make a difference in the grand scheme of the overall story.
Yeah, overall.
I still think the anime is still peak regardless.
So I'll have to disagree with you on the first episode being kind of weak. It's like, again, amazing. And I love the North number 2 and Mr. Duncan storyline. But I will agree with you on this, that it is kind of weird that they put it in like that, where if you were to not continue it, you would think that was just what the show was about, which is not. That is weird.
It cuts off the main story, and then you follow North number 2 and Mr. Duncan for the rest of the episode, and then the main story at the end of the episode. It's like,
but I still think it's an amazing episode, and I still like the story. So I don't know. But the only problem was the Brow thing. That was
I don't understand how that man knew everything. I really don't, but he did. So,
I mean, peak fiction will never be perfect. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know. But yeah, that's enough Pluto dick sucking. We low key we kind of rode that dick a little for a little longer than I thought we were going to. But man, hey, Pluto's just that good. Hey, I bite it again. Pause. I don't know. It's fourth time's the charm, guys. You know, I chopped. But quickly, let's get through Spy Family. I think Spy Family is better this season. I think season 2 is better than season 1. I like it more. I think it's progressing more as a story. There's not a lot of spy family dick sucking like it was in season 1, which I prefer because it made watching Spy Family more enjoyable. And me and my wife are watching it together, and it's great. I like it. It's great.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else to say. Great action too from Yor.
Yor is bae. But I am horny for Yor. I will not deny that.
All right. Someone's gonna clip that up.
I have nothing else to say about Spy Family that I haven't already said. I'm a huge Slice of Life fan. I heavily enjoy Spy Family. I love the shit out of it. It's one of my favorite new gen anime. When we're talking about new gen anime, Spy Family is definitely top 5 for me. And
for sure.
It's as a manga reader, it's only going to get better from here. I don't know if you can see it in the corner over there. I'm collecting.
You have the manga, yeah.
I have the manga. I'm collecting all of them. But yeah, I have nothing.
I have the first chapter. But I don't have the rest. Not yet, at least.
Yeah. I have nothing else to say. I have no other praises that I haven't already sung about Spy Family.
Like all I have to say is if you like season 1, you'll like season 2. It's better to me. And if you thought season 1 was kind of disappointing, watch season 2 first and see if you'll like it again, because I think it's better, me personally. Quickly go over Dr.Stone season 2 part 2 is a 7 out of 10 still. I don't know what to tell you. And Tokyo Revengers season 2 part 2, I think it's still good. It's still enjoyable. My enjoyment has not changed. Those two I have not changed my opinion on, but I'm still watching. I don't know how far you want to get into the finale of Attack on Titan, because that technically came out this season. Don't know how far you want to get into it.
So I said I did get into it in my video, and I'll just repeat pretty much my things on it. I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it to an extent. I see why manga readers said the way it was, outside of the political jargon surrounding the story. From a writing standpoint, my main problem was Ymir as a character. I don't think she was explored enough. And I think that the idea of the love surrounding Ymir was bullshit. I think it was bullshit. I really do, because it's just like she loved the king. Why? And everyone's chalking up the slave mentality, and I'm like, that's not
enough for you, huh?
That's not enough for me. No, because it doesn't form out of no. Like I like the idea of her. The original idea that I thought they were going for, of her having that slave mentality, of her not knowing any other life other than to follow orders, right? And that's why she kept following the orders for the 2,000 years. And when Eren showed up, Eren's speech before he started the rumbling was like, you don't have to follow orders. You can be free. And you have seen me, Eren, this reputation of freedom, in quotes. You've seen me and you've been calling me this entire time because you know that I'm right. You know it. And you hate humanity. So help me kill it. And although I don't agree with that ideology, I thought it was a very interesting ideology. I was like, I can see why she would team up with Eren. Like, it makes sense. And then to end it off with, oh no, she did all this because she was in love with the king and she wanted to break free from that toxic love. I was like, what? Like, no, she had, it wasn't needed. That's my problem with it. It wasn't needed.
Really?
It really wasn't needed to tie it all back into love. And on top of that, she's been, if I'm going to say she's been in love for 2,000 years, to only see Mikasa break the toxic. You telling me it's been 2,000 years and she's seen no one else break toxic love?
I don't.
No one else. Like
I guess I don't.
And only Mikasa, that one person, do it. She was like, all right, fine, I can finally let go. Like you didn't need Mikasa to you didn't need her to let go. You really didn't, in my opinion.
I think look, I've said this before with my my episode with Augie, but the writer had the ending planned out for a long time. Like he knew what the ending was going to be. And I think what happened was he didn't know Attack on Titan was going to take off the way it did. And so he had to write some things to kind of fill in between. But I think he had to make a choice of like, do I continue with my original ending of Attack on Titan or do I change it completely? But I think at the time when he had the choice, it was already kind of too late. And he had to go with what he originally wrote, which I think was better than just changing the whole ending altogether, because if you've already connected everything for so long, like you might as well go with the ending you've already done. My biggest gripe is that I think he didn't delve into the romantic part of, you know, what he decided the ending was going to be more. I think he needed more time to be able to, you know, explain everything, but he wanted the anime or the manga to end at chapter 139, I believe, because there's a significant number of the 139. I believe is what Augie explained it to me, but there's significance to that number, and he had to fit everything within that constraint, and it just didn't flesh it out all the way. But I honestly, to me, it made sense. Stockholm syndrome is a thing. You know, I think it's not the best explanation, but it's a good enough explanation for me to be like, okay, that makes sense. Like, it's not like it's not this in depth of like, you know, he has to go into the intricacies of like their relationship or whatever. You can chalk it up to Stockholm syndrome, and it still to me made sense. Not the best plot point, but I think it did make sense. And I guess, look, you can say I'm just accepting it to accept it. I'm just accepting the fact that Mikasa is the reason why she decided to be free.
I think it makes sense. I just think it wasn't explored. That's the only thing. I would have liked to see Ymir. Like, we didn't get a single word from Ymir. Like, a single word. Like, it's kind of my gripe with Nezuko. Why is she not talking? Like she's the founder Titan. She's the founder Titan in Attack on Titan, and she doesn't have a single piece of dialogue.
I mean, to be fair, we don't know if she knew how to talk beforehand. I don't know. She never talked once.
Because the reason why we didn't hear her talk before she got the Titan powers, because they cut off her tongue.
Yes. Yes. That is true. I remember that. Yeah.
That's why she didn't speak. But after she got the Titan powers, no, Titan's fucking heal. She got her fucking tongue back. Like,
oh yeah, that is true.
Titan fucking heal. She got her fucking tongue back. You can't tell me she didn't. She got her fucking tongue back. Titan's fucking heal. So I was like, no, we could have seen her.
You know, we could have seen her to talk.
Like, yeah, I wanted to see something in like Attack on Titan is great when Attack on Titan does a great job at exploring the characters, right? We see into Levi's mind, we see into Mikasa's mind, we see into Armin's mind. We get these inner monologues. Ymir didn't get that, and that's my problem. The founding Titan and Attack on Titan didn't get that, and it's like that is my biggest gripe with it. And a lot of people, you know, accepted it, and it's fine. And you know, it makes sense, but I feel like I definitely agree with you on when you say he needed more time to flesh it out.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree with that.
And so I wanted to ask you about this actually, because when I talked to Augie about this, he agreed with okay, I'm gonna just get into it. He said he agreed, and I was thinking about it too. I'm like, okay, if that's what he saw that needed to happen, then I guess, because you know, everyone knows when he kissed Historia's hand, he saw everything. He saw everything come to fruition, and he was thinking in his head, how can I stop this? How can I change the future to where everyone can, you know, all of his friends and family could like live? And the conclusion that he came up with, and it was the only conclusion, it's kind of like on some Doctor Strange shit, where if you saw Endgame or saw Infinity War, he saw all the possibilities, and there was only one possibility. Apparently, Eren, same thing, you know, as Doctor Strange. He saw all the possibilities, and this was the only possibility where his friends can live and enjoy their lives. Supposedly. I'm just going off of what, you know, the writer's saying. The only way is to kill off 80% of the population, supposedly. And Eren had to go. Apparently he was forced to go through with it because it was the only way. And I think I remember one time when we were explaining all that, did you disagree? Am I remembering that wrong? That you disagree that was the only way?
I did, yes.
Okay. Can you go into that more? Because I'm curious what you think, because you could sway me. I don't think there is another way, but you could sway me.
So I think this is, and I said this in the video, I think my main problem with the Attack on Titan ending is my same problem with the Evangelion ending, although not to the same degree as Eva. There is too much left up to interpretation for an ending like this to 100% work for me. And I think that the reason why we can interpret all of this stuff, I think that's the problem. I think he should have set some stuff in stone. And the main reason I'm saying this is because it's up to interpretation whether this is the only way. Because the scene with Eren and Armin, the scene that everyone hated in the manga, is there's more added context in the anime, right? Yes. He rewrote it because everyone hated it in the manga, so he went back and he gave more added context. And what I got from that scene is that there wasn't only one way, but this was the way Eren himself chose. That's what I got from it. Eren didn't say this was the only way. Eren said this was the only one I was happy with. And I think that is where I disagree, because from my perspective, we see Attack on Titan and we see the entire story of this team trying their best to survive the Titans. Eren would have not lived through the 3 seasons without the scouts, right? Literally season 1 through 3 is them going to save his ass. Like,
right. Let's basically.
And in season 4, Eren's descent into madness is basically him going off on his own. When he kisses Astoria's hand, instead of relying on the friends that got him there in the first place, he says, nah, guys, I got this. And he chooses that. And I'm not saying that he didn't struggle between the choice, because he did. We see him literally struggle between choosing that or choosing another way. But he did. He eventually chose that. He chose that. And that's my problem with it, because I don't think it was the only way. Like, you really can't tell me my man's Armin couldn't have thought of something else. Like, Armin literally got them got them to that basement. Like, for the start of the series, everyone was like, there is no possible way they're getting to this basement. There is no fucking way. And they got there. I don't think there was there was no other way for them to avoid war. But that's my thing. I think they should have just went to war. Like, they should have just went to war instead of wiping out 80% of humanity. I think that was a better solution, a more humane solution. And it's still a fucked up solution, but it's still a more humane solution. On top of that, Eren couldn't see everything, because Eren said this was the way to protect his friends, but Sasha died, but Hanj died. And it was like, so that's proof that, and on top of that, we see him struggling to get to the rumbling. If Eren could really see the future and see everything, there's a limit to his power. If he really could see the future and see everything, he wouldn't have struggled to get to the rumbling in the first place. Like, he would have seen it all coming. Like, so that's why I say this wasn't the only way. This was the only way Eren chose. Eren himself chose.
Okay. So I see what you mean, and I actually did struggle with that. Of like, why did he pick this ending if it means that Sasha dies and Hanji dies? And from what I've been talking about this with multiple people, and supposedly they had to die, because if they don't die, more of their friend group was going to die, and they were just collateral, is what Eren saw supposedly. And also, like, Sasha dying kind of that explains why Eren was kind of laughing when Sasha died, because everything that was shown to him through his powers was coming true, and he was laughing at the fact that, wow, I really have to go with this. I really have to go with this ending for this to go through. Like, this is what was shown to me, and stuff like that. So apparently there was no way, there was no other way for the majority of them to survive. And let me ask you this, because you said, like, you don't believe that was the only way, and that you wish you were shown more in Eren, like, you know, and all that. Did you feel the same way when Doctor Strange did it in Infinity War?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's not how probability. Like, for example, you can't give me a reason. We saw Doctor Strange do the time stone in his own movie. There is no reason he couldn't have just took the time stone and rewinded Tony, and Tony could have lived. I don't know why he just didn't do that. Like,
well, at least you're consistent.
He was right there. And it was just like, this was the only way. And I was just like, that's not how. Well, it's suspension of disbelief, really.
Yeah.
And I feel like I feel like the difference of why I accepted Infinity War and Endgame more than Attack on Titan is because it's up to interpretation. It's like kind of what you said on the Flow podcast when you guys talked about the Attack on Titan ending. We don't know the actual other endings. We don't know them, right? And from what the way the scene can be interpreted as, because Eren doesn't actually say this was the only way. He literally says, this is what I chose. So we can interpret that as this was the only way, because why would Eren choose a way that wasn't the only way? Or we can interpret it as, no, this is what just Eren himself saw as the best. And we can see that Eren's not the most mentally stable person throughout the entire show. So it's like, it can be interpreted that way. But with Doctor Strange, it's different, because Doctor Strange is like, no, this isn't what I chose. This was the only way. Like we that's cemented. That is true. With Attack on Titan, it's up to interpretation. And that's my whole point. Like, too much left up to interpretation from this ending. It's like what you said. We don't know. We don't even know the futures that he showed Grisha. Like,
that is true. That is true.
A lot of these other timelines that Eren saw, we don't know actually what would happen. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not pretty sure, but I'm pretty sure if Armin and all the rest of them would have seen these other timelines, they probably wouldn't have chosen to kill 80% of humanity. Like, the look on Armin's face when he told Armin 80% died was pure disgust. Like, pure disgust. Like, they wouldn't have chose that. They wouldn't have. Eren chose that because Eren, like Eren said himself, is an idiot. He's an idiot.
That is true. Let me ask you this though, like because he's been saying that the ending he wanted, all right, is for his friends, the majority of them, to be the heroes of the story, and for them to live their life as peaceful as possible.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you don't think so you don't think Eren went through all the possibilities that there are other ways that the majority of his friends could live in peace and be the heroes of the story? You think there were other options?
No, I'm glad you asked that, because let me clarify that. No, I think this was the best way for his friends to live peacefully. But that's my thing. He chose. That's my problem with it.
Okay.
He chose his friends. Like, the only thing Eren accomplished was his friends living a long life.
Yeah. Okay.
That is the only thing he accomplished. That's my problem with it. Because
it's like but no one, but Eren isn't a righteous, like, he's not a good person.
Yeah.
Like,
he's
like, I don't think it was ever his intention to be like, his intention wasn't to find the perfect ending for the majority of people to live. That wasn't, that wasn't his goal. You know what I mean? His goal has always been, he wants his friends to live peacefully, the life that he couldn't live. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. And that's my kind of
the
issue with it, because it's like, I guess it is a bittersweet, because it's just like, wow, this villain did actually win. This villain did actually win. It's like 80% of humanity died, and it's just, and on top of that, it's like, at the end, I get it. It's from Mikasa and Armin's perspective, but I'm just, when they're just like, "Oh, see you later, Eren," I'm like, no, fuck that guy. For me personally, I mean, I'm just like, no, fuck that guy. Like, no, like, and it's bittersweet because I don't hate Eren, and on top of that, I do like Eren as a character, but it is to me kind of consistent with Attack on Titan's themes. Attack on Titan is a tragedy. It's not a happy story. You know,
it's not a happy story.
It's not a happy story. It's a tragedy. It is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my problem with that, in a sense. And I'm not talking about in a sense of enjoyment for the story. I'm talking about in a sense of kind of logistics of the story. Like, I don't like people saying this was Eren's only way, because it wasn't his only way. Eren chose this. And you're right. Eren's not a good person. That's why he chose this. He's not a righteous person. He is the villain. That's why he chose it. And like, so I'm not going to sit here. I'm basically, what I'm arguing is the justification of Eren's actions, not the actual kind of, oh, it should have ended happy, because you're not going to watch Attack on Titan and tell me it's going to end happy.
Like, I knew it was not going to end like happy. Like, it's not going to end in a way where everything's like tied up in a bow. I knew that.
It's not going to be no happy cutter ending. Like, I've seen 4 seasons of this show. There's no way I was going to think it was going to end a happy ending. Like, come on. Like, it's a tragedy. But what I'm arguing is the justifications for Eren's actions. I don't agree that this was his only way. I think this was the path that Eren chose. And I think that plays more into the themes of the story, that Eren chose to do this terrible thing, because I think that plays more into the themes of the story of, it's fucked up. That's the point. Like, it's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
That's what I think.
Yeah. You know, I agree with you to a certain extent. I think I'm guessing what I'm hearing is your main gripe is that you wish it didn't have to be this way. I guess you could say. Like, it didn't have to be, you know, you didn't have to kill off all these people. Like you wish it was less selfish, you know, like it's a very selfish way of ending the story.
Not that I wish it was less selfish. I wish people would stop saying that it's has to be this way. Cause I was like, no, it doesn't have to be this way. I think this is the way he chose. This is not the author. I mean, Aaron, this is the way he chose. Right. This is what Aaron chose. It doesn't have like this doesn't have to be this. This is what Aaron chose. Like it's a justification for Aaron's actions. Like I understand the reasoning. I'm not going to sit here and like, I don't understand the reasoning. The show makes you understand the reasoning. But what I'm saying is I don't agree that this was the only solution. This was the solution Aaron chose, and that's what we saw.
Okay. So what you're saying is the ending made sense, but you didn't like the outcome.
Yeah, personally, I didn't like the outcome. As for like the writing and the enjoyment of the show, I mean, it's Attack on Titan, so
it made
I enjoyed it, you know. But I don't like the justification for Aaron's actions. Like if someone were to be like, well, Aaron is justified, I'm like, no, he's actually not. And I think that's the point of the show, that he wasn't justified, because the way it ends is like we see them go to war eventually. We see Mikasa and them live a long life and they die off, and then war breaks out eventually anyway. Like, I think the point for me, the interpretation I got from it is that he wasn't justified. And that's the point.
Yeah. I mean, that ending was very Attack on Titan of like, we knew that the cycle wasn't broken. We knew that peace was not going to be forever. You know what I mean? And I think, I think that's why there is a section of people that dislike it when we say Code Geass this is basically Code Geass, but not as good. But there are people that say, oh, we didn't like the ending of Code Geass because it's too idealistic. You know, Attack on Titan is if Code Geass was the not as idealistic ending. But I'm like, but that doesn't make it better. I don't like, you know what I mean? Like to me, Code Geass is still the better ending of the two. It's still considered the one of, if not the greatest ending in all of anime. Yeah. But it just, I don't know. It kind of sucks to know that, man, all those people died, and in a couple hundred years, it's gonna go back to where it started. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a cycle, which is very realistic. It's a cycle. You know what I mean? There's no way that peace is gonna last forever, but it still kind of sucks. You know what I mean? It's still like a downer. You know, but again, like you said, Attack on Titan is a tragedy, and it was not gonna end pretty.
It wasn't. I think. And on top of that, well, this is what I say, because it's up to interpretation. There's too much up to interpretation. I think that's the difference between the two. Code Geass is very cemented, and there are things you can interpret, but the ending is very cemented. You can't argue certain facts about the ending. You can literally argue what the fuck Aaron. You can argue the different interpretations of Aaron and Armin's whole talk. You can argue different interpretations of that easily. Even the ending where the kid goes in the tree, it's like you can argue, did he get the Titan powers or did he get something else? Because we don't actually know what the life form does. We don't know what it does. We know it. They
still never explain like what it really is. They just like it's in the universe. It's there.
We don't know what it does. Because I saw a thread on Twitter that was very interesting. Someone was like, I think it's a wish granting life form because it gave Ymir all the Titan powers that she herself wished for. So whatever the kid entered the tree wished for is what it's going to give him. And it's like, if he doesn't wish for Titan powers, then Titans will return. Something else will come. And it's just like. So it's we don't know what that thing does.
We don't know.
And that's what I think is kind of the main problem. There's so much left up to interpretation. It goes back into what you said. I don't think he had enough time to flesh it out, really.
Right. And I guess my last question for you, and then we can wrap this up, because man, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry it took this long. But did the ending of Attack on Titan change your opinion on Attack on Titan, or did it just kind of keep it like, okay, this is this is how I feel about Attack on Titan, and the ending kind of just solidified what I already thought?
It didn't change my opinion. It's still, to me, it kind of changed my perspective on the show, because I feel like Attack on Titan, ignore the train. I feel like Attack on Titan, because I'm quoted several times that Attack on Titan is the masterpiece of our generation, but the ending, I guess, changed that a little bit, to be honest. Okay. I still think it's a very good show. I still think it's a very good show. Would I recommend people watch Attack on Titan? 100%, yes. But I think it leaves a bittersweet taste in my mouth of just kind of how it all ended, and it's just like, man, I have some problems. It's not a perfect ending. It's not.
Oh,
It's not FMA. It's not Code Geass. It didn't end perfectly for me, but at the same time, I still enjoy it through and through. So I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. It didn't change it.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. I mean, what is your like opinion overall now that Attack on Titan has ended? What is your overall opinion on it? Like, where does it stack in terms of like anime like that we've watched?
I think it's one of the best written anime of our generation. Whether you agree with the themes, whether you agree with the story, the way Isayama structured this story is professional level. Like professional. There's not a lot of anime that have as well written and well execution as Attack on Titan. There's really not. And I think it is, for me personally, it's a 9 out of 10. And I still think it's I still think anime fans should watch Attack on Titan. Like it's good, and it's gonna go down as one of those anime where it's just like, yeah, you gotta watch this one. You got like a Code Geass, like an FMA. You gotta watch this one, whether you hate it or love it. You need an opinion on this one,
right? Yeah.
That's what I think.
All right, now, and our overall opinions on this year is this is a great year of anime. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Year of anime, yeah.
Amazing year of anime. Like literally, I haven't had a year of anime where every season had really good anime. Yeah, I don't even summer, where you would say is the weakest. It still has amazing sequels.
Amazing sequels. I mean? Sequel still held it out. So
there you go. Anyways, RJ, anything else you want to say to the people? Anything you want to plug?
No. You can find me on the Rise YouTube channel. Ignore the train.
Jesus.
You can find me on the Rise YouTube channel. And all our socials and everything listed on our channel as well. So yeah, anything like that. But this was a great year of anime. I enjoyed it. I really did.
All right. Anyways, guys, you heard us. We're here. And if you disagree with us, hey, we're casual takes, man. I don't know what to tell you. If you disagree, it is what it is. Anyways, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Check out RJ and all of his things. I'm gonna catch you guys later.